Who have you had on your podcast?
It's you.
And when we're talking about like high caliber people, I think without bragging, it's gotta be me.
It's got to be you.
I've had Sir Action Slacks. He's had TI winners. So
That's also the other
I
thing
know.
is he's never had me on his show. Like, come
That's
on.
a bit weird.
that should be a good thing for you if I only have the shit tier.
No, I would have upped your level if you had me. I'm a little bit salty because I've asked him, but
I would have thought you definitely would have been on each other's.
nah, he doesn't like me, I think.
I mean, that's true. We only work together because we're forced to.
You
one
know
of those
what?
things.
That's what this
It's true.
feels like, actually.
Yeah,
Anyway,
So
I win this round.
I feel like you would.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, well, fair enough. I'm actually quite surprised that I would have. Is there anybody in particular that you would want off each other's channel that you've not had the opportunity to have?
No, I don't. Well, I don't watch his channel, so I don't actually know who
Same.
he's had on
I'm
his
pretty
podcast.
sure 80% of the people I've had, he would have liked. The only one I would like to have from him is his partner on his podcast, Cinderin.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
You
we
haven't
all love
asked him?
No, not yet.
Oh, really? That's pretty sad.
Yeah,
Isn't that
we'll
your
get
best
it.
friend?
Yeah, but he's got to wait.
Do you feel like it's like low hanging fruit? You don't want to just go for the easy option.
Exactly.
really,
Like
yeah.
I know he will say yes eventually, so it's easy.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Who has the higher behavior score out of the two of you?
Probably me.
I have 10,000.
You can
11,000.
have more than 10K
12,000. Whatever
Yeah.
max is, I
Yeah,
have.
we both have max, so maybe we just got to share that.
That's actually surprising. See, I don't talk in my games ever or chat. Somebody
think-
says, "Oh, that's Suns fan." I ignore them.
That's awful.
Well, it's better than flaming.
Well, don't be a fan of this guy. You won't
No,
even
I'm not.
acknowledge it.
I would
He's
never
selling me. I'm all
subject
in,
anybody to
actually.
that.
No, I can understand that.
Yeah.
So you were saying about whatever the max is, like,
We're
Yeah.
both max.
I'm max.
We're
Both
both
max.
nice, kind people. We're chilling.
and you still get hired all the time. Does that not impact it? Or
Yeah, good point.
That's true.
Maybe we should be a bit more toxic. I think that could help.
you know, I'm all for it. Maybe
Yeah.
it will help. Okay, which one of you has the highest win rate on Centaur?
I mean, it's definitely because
Is it like
Oh,
pub
wait.
games or competitive?
I can tell you my win rate roughly.
Okay, go.
It's 65
In
It's-
pubs.
in pubs.
You might
Well,
have a
what do you
higher-
in what else? Professional
Pro.
matches?
But in pro games, I would win. But I think pubs he might win. I think my win
Okay.
rate on center is actually garbage.
I was 6th in the world on Centaur for a single day on the first day that stats were available when his ult used to stun
I didn't even play Dota at this point, I think.
That's true. You're playing Heroes
Yeah.
of Newerth probably
Yeah.
still.
Best game in the world.
Don't say that. Cut that out.
Come on, guys, I can handle a joke. It's all right. Game's dead. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Okay. Who has the unhealthier hobby?
Let's list hobbies.
Let's list them. Actually,
I don't have many.
Okay, what hobbies do I have? I like eating food. I like Pokemon cards.
I mean,
feel like
eating
that's
food
kinda
can't be a
healthy.
hobby, I don't think.
Okay, sure, then Pokemon cards.
And mine is video game design. So which one's more unhealthy? Probably mine because
Probably
it's
yours.
crippling
Fundamental.
depression,
Yeah.
financial
Of
instability,
course.
and you have to work with people you hate.
Look at how
Jenkins.
it really got to him. Like, this is from the belly.
I wasn't quite sure it was going to be this thing. If you want to lay it down, we can have it like that.
It's
It's a
bad.
therapy session.
It's
I'm
bad.
healthier. It turns out that way.
Okay, right. Okay, well, we'll go with that. Right. Okay, the final question:
Okay.
which one of you would be more likely to get a team to win EWC through any means possible?
So he would go further to like kill everyone else and
Okay.
then just have his
Just pure
team win.
violence. Yeah. Okay.
You know what? Well, why don't we just compare resumes here, okay?
Oh, yeah.
As
let's
a
get it.
team owner,
This is so fake.
owner, we got first at ESL1 Genting.
What
which
did you do for them?
I have the trophy behind me. I didn't even go to Malaysia for that tournament. Doesn't matter. I have the trophy behind me. Second at the international. I didn't even keep any of the money either. Out of the goodness of
didn't
my
do
heart,
Just a humble guy.
out of the goodness of my heart, the players, the ones that are rich and famous, and they get all the ladies, they get everything they want.
What the fuck?
They kept the money. So
Yeah.
me, of course, my track record is excellent.
So he
What do
got,
you have to say
he
for
got
yourself?
scammed, basically, is what
Oh.
you were saying. You
Yes.
got scammed.
I'm doing a positive spin of getting fucked out of a lot
Yeah.
of prize pool money.
I think we'll give this to him because he's had
Okay.
enough else
Thank
today,
you.
I think.
Okay, well, that's more than
Appreciate
fair.
that.
That's more than fair. Guys, thank you very much for the chat. Whether or not it is or not is another thing.
That's a good one.
That was a good one.
That was
Thank
good.
you, guys. Yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
Hello, everybody. I am here with Extreme Gaming, here with Xnova. Now, Xnova, I heard you guys have been playing a lot of pubs today. Is that true? Are you tired from playing too many pubs?
If you win, you won't be tired of it. But recently, I've been losing a lot, so yeah, I'm done.
What is the morale like in the squad right now? Is it high? Is it medium? Is it low? You know, what's the real deal? What's the inside situation?
No comments.
No comments. Okay, very suspicious, but I'll take your word for it. Are you going to win EWC?
Maybe,
Are you going to win TI?
for sure.
Do you miss playing with the teddy bears from the one TI that you had to do it?
I think the teddy bear miss me more than I miss them.
What happened to those teddy bears?
I took one home.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Does he have a name?
Ursa.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this all true? I feel like you're trolling me.
No, I'm serious.
What happened to the other 4?
The other 4,
They get incinerated?
I think 3 of them got dumped, and I actually took one of them and gave it to my friend.
That's very sweet. Not for the other 3 that got thrown in the trash, but I guess that's how life goes.
Yeah.
Do you sometimes wish you could throw some of your teammates in the trash?
That's probably what I did. Like, the 3 best were thrown.
Do you ever miss the early days of your career?
I probably miss me being younger, not my career.
You miss your younger spirit?
The younger me, the higher spirit, the happier version of me.
You're less happy now?
As you grow older, I think you just tend to be more emotionally stable. So I don't feel that much hype compared to before.
Have you ever tried something to bring that back? Like, you know, people go on like spiritual journeys or midlife crisis. You buy a Ferrari, or, you know, people drink. I don't know.
To me, I just need more time of sleep. I don't think I sleep more than before.
So your dream in life right now is to go to sleep.
Yeah, like the dream life, the virtual life is much more better than the reality.
Why don't you get a lot of sleep?
I just can't.
Why not? Why can't you sleep?
I don't know, aging maybe.
Is it like a health issue?
Not really, just I don't know.
Do you see things in your sleep like nightmares?
Yeah, most of the times, like just random thoughts, random dreams.
Do any of them have Dota in it?
Yeah, I dreamt about you.
About me?
Yeah.
That can't be true.
That's true.
When?
Just yesterday, I was like predicting today's interview with you.
Damn. What was I doing in the dream?
We were just hanging out and drinking some matcha latte.
Hell yeah, that sounds pretty dope. If I asked your teammates what they dream about, do you think you could answer for me?
Yeah, I can.
You want to ask them?
What do you want to bring?
I want to ask each of them what they dream about when they sleep. You think you, like, in that sense, you know, not like what their dream is in life, like when they go to sleep.
Okay.
What was the last dream they had?
We bring them over then.
Yes, we try. Okay.
他问你昨晚睡觉的时候有梦到什么吗
No.
？He did not dream anything.
What does that mean? He doesn't dream at all, or he's never dreamed anything?
你完全不会做梦吗？还是
很少做梦。
not that often.
But has he ever dreamed anything?
有没有就是做梦过什么东西吗？印象深刻。
我现在不记得，但是我刚醒来的时候可能会记得吧。
He doesn't remember at all. For now.
For now. Does he wish he could dream more vividly?
你会不会更想比较频繁会做梦？
没有吧，就顺其自然就好。
Not really. Just go with the flow.
Do you think you guys as a team have a collective Dota dream? Like, is there a unifying idea behind what you're working towards?
就是刚刚他问的那个问题。
他说问啥？
就是翻说那个问题。
就是
我们对于团队里面有没有共同的梦想或者目标？
我们要打出beautiful Dota。
Beautiful Dota.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Okay. I'm going to ask you one more question. This is for each of you to answer. If you were to win TI, what hero would you want to win it on? What hero would you want to win TI with? So, like, you know, they do the thing with the art where they have like the 5 heroes that win. What would you want your face to be on that hero?
就如果夺冠赢 TI 的话，你更想是哪一个英雄？就是他们会展示在那个贴纸上面那种，那5个英雄，你自己会是哪一个英雄？
你是什么英雄？
我还没有回答你，你先回答。
可能牛头吧。
Maybe a shaker, just Crystal Maiden.
Okay, I don't know if I believe that one. And what about Ame? Can he answer real quick?
就是如果夺冠赢 TI 的话，你会选你就是那种有5个英雄作为贴纸嘛？你会想哪个英雄展示在上面？就是你希望是哪个英雄？
就挑最后一把赢的英雄
这是什么英雄？
啊
就是你希望是哪个英雄帮助你夺冠
，TV
？Terribly。
Terribly?
嗯，
Is that why he dyed his hair blue? It's like the gem in the Terribly art form?
你是因为 TV 而把自己头发染成蓝色吗？就是那个至宝的颜色。
不是
Not。
Why did he dye blue?
为什么你染蓝色？
因为之前染过别的颜色，蓝色没有染过，然后染了一个超哥蓝，感觉还行。
He never dyed any color before, so he dyed blue this time, and it's Somnus color before. So yeah.
Somnus God. Maybe.
Maybe Somnus. Yeah.
Honor of Somnus?
就是超哥荣誉吗？还是什么？
超哥，AR 超哥很喜气。
The Azure Somnus is very 喜气怎么说？ Yeah, just a luck. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for the interview. Thank you for translating. Appreciate it, guys. Good luck in the tournament. Wait, hold. We got to film this. All right, we're here with Panther from Mouse. He's 10-10. It's an even game. You're about to demolish the Spanish Dreams match point. What do you have to say to the people as you ruin his career?
Your career is over right now.
Okay, we're about to witness greatness, ladies and gentlemen. No, I think that clipped the edge. I think that clipped the edge. I heard it hit. Look, there's a dent. There's a dent there. That was a tremendous shot. Congratulations, sir. You have won an interview with me. That is your prize. What does this moment mean to you?
I mean, I feel like I was striving for it almost all my life, and now I feel empty inside. Because it's not about what you get in the end, it's about the process. My father was a tennis player, table tennis, and his grandfather, so it's like destiny for me, and I really enjoyed that they can be proud of me after winning this.
Are you going to teach your children to play Dota and follow in the great legacy that your fathers have left you in terms of table tennis?
Hell no.
Why not?
I feel like if I didn't start playing Dota, I will be happier.
That can't be true.
I mean, I used to be good in CS. Maybe if I played it more than Dota, I will be happy right now.
Do you sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and your dream was, I'm a CSGO pro instead of a Dota pro?
Yeah, sometimes. But I can call it nightmares because when you sleep and you have some dream and you wake up, you feel bad after a good dream.
Have you ever dreamt about winning EWC or TI?
I dreamed about winning TI, and now I didn't qualify on it. So sometimes dream not come true.
That doesn't mean it won't happen, though.
Yeah, but not now.
Your time will come. It's the clowniest guy in this room right now.
I think this guy.
This guy over here? He said you're the clowniest guy here. Is that true?
So not true. Look at me. I'm the oldest guy in the team.
Are you actually the oldest?
I think so, yeah.
How old are you?
30.
That's not too old.
But I'm the oldest in the
I mean, Puppy's like 48 or something.
But still doesn't change the fact that I'm the oldest.
Does that give you an extra sense of responsibility that you have to like group up these young guns and teach them the ways?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. They are too naive, I would say.
Too naive.
Yes.
About Dota or about life?
About everything, of course.
What have you taught Crystallis?
I taught him to play Razor.
If I go ask him that, is he going to agree?
Yes.
What did he teach you?
He taught me that Monkey King is doable in every meta.
Do you believe that?
Yes, I do.
He converted you to the Monkey King ways?
I was a Monkey King player.
I was about to say, you were doing it before he was.
Yeah, man.
Did he just copy your playstyle?
In different role, probably not copy, but maybe a little.
Do you think you're old enough that he grew up watching you and then decided to steal your Monkey King gameplay?
I think he did.
Are you upset that he stole your Monkey King gameplay?
Nope. I'm proud.
You're proud of him?
Yes, I am.
What do you think he's proud of you?
That I taught him to play Razor. No.
Let me ask him. Let's go over here and ask him. I was talking to your teammate, and he said that he's very old, and it makes him sad, but that he's very proud of the fact that you stole all of your Monkey King gameplay from him. Do you have a response to this statement?
No.
He also said that you taught him everything about Razor. Is this true?
Does he play Razor?
I don't know.
I guess.
Could you teach anybody how to play Razor at a top tier level?
No.
What about if you cosplayed Razor in real life? Like, what if I just gave you live wires and you started flinging them around? Would you shout like, "I'm the Lightning Daddy"?
No, I would just die, but I could do that.
Have you ever done that in game? Just started screaming, "I'm the Lightning Daddy" as you are linking people?
No, but I've said other things.
What do you say when you link someone?
I don't know. I say so many things. I will tell them that I'm drinking that milkshake or something. I don't know.
Oh, the milkshake line.
It depends. Just the
like
Razor line, yeah.
Do you have any of your own custom ones?
No, it's all from Razor, always.
What do you think about calling yourself Lightning Daddy?
I don't think I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. I'm too young.
How old are you?
24, I think.
So you're basically like half of Mid-One's age. How does that make you feel?
Young.
Does he seem old to you?
I mean, I think I see the arthritis setting in.
Yeah, he just dropped that ball. That doesn't bode well for his mechanical skill.
Like, I heard it.
Do you think it gives you a disadvantage in game?
Yes, the fingers go like you hear it.
Do you hear his bones crackling on the microphone?
Yeah, I think everything that can crack in the body, it's cracking.
Is he going to die soon?
I mean, hopefully not before the tournament ends. That would be difficult for us.
You played with Puppy for a little bit. He wields a machete. Does anybody on this team wield the machete?
Immortal Faith.
Immortal Faith wields the machete?
Mm-hmm.
Are you scared of Immortal Faith? I don't know, like if you saw him in an alley at night, is he going to scare you?
Well, not in that case. I'm more scared when I walk in the practice room and I see him there.
What hero do you hate the most?
Naga Siren.
What if he told you have to play Naga Siren every game for the rest of your career?
Then I will probably not have a career anymore.
I feel like you're a fighter at heart.
I mean, that's kind of true. I like running in. It's pretty fun.
I mean, you're a Bloodseeker player.
I am. I'm the only Bloodseeker player.
That's what I respect about you. You want to go in, draw some blood, fight. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I do.
So do you respect other carries that play that way?
No.
Who do you think is the most similar to you in terms of playstyle?
Right now, I guess maybe Skeeter.
If you had to 1v1 Skeeter in real life, but you're a Dota hero and he's a Dota hero, what do you think gives you the best odds to beat him?
I mean, the Razor is a bit broken in a 1v1. It's just an unfair hero.
You're picking Razor?
I think. I don't know.
What is he playing? Dragon Knight or Lifestealer or something?
Yeah, but it's unfair because he's playing into Razor. Right?
Yeah, I know. You're going to dunk on his ass. That's what I'm saying.
There's no chance that it's like
Respect, bro. I respect that you're going to dunk on his ass. You heard it here first. Crystallis, he's going to dunk on Skeeter's ass. Might do it in this tournament too. You want to play against him?
Yeah, I hope we get that far.
Thanks for talking to me. My friend, Boom.
Hello?
I have a question for you from your teammate. He wanted to know how it feels to be the second best offlaner behind Saberlight.
No comment.
No comment on this? It's not my question, it's his question.
I mean, it's the truth.
Do you feel that way?
Definitely.
Do you guys share notes if you have a similar play style?
No, he's just teaching me
What has he taught you?
everything.
What has this team taught you about life?
Nothing.
So you're the exact same person you were as when you joined this squad?
Yeah. I mean, it taught me a bit that, like, how to control my emotions. The main thing.
What emotions did you have to control?
Anger.
What are you so angry about?
Some games when we're losing, because we're losing a lot.
What makes you more mad, the outcome or the process that got you there?
Definitely the process. The outcome doesn't matter that much.
So if you guys played really well but you lost every game, you wouldn't be angry?
No, because then I would feel like probably like we're doing some stuff right, you know. But the annoying part is when you trying to learn something as a team and then it keeps repeating, you know, and you're kind of stuck, and that's when I get angry.
I heard you're a top tier athlete.
Yep.
In what?
Table tennis.
Are you actually?
Yeah, I used to be pro.
How good pro? How good pro?
I mean, I won like our national tournament when I was like 13 in Czech.
Holy. So you would just wipe the floor with anybody here right now?
For sure.
Do you ever do that just to assert dominance on your teammates? Like
Yeah.
when they're trash talking, be like, "Oh, let's go play some ping pong, bro," and you just fucking smash their skull in?
Yeah, I do that. They call me the Humbler.
The Humbler. Have you ever considered changing your Dota nickname to that?
Yeah, but I feel like it's kind of cringy.
No, that's awesome, dude. I would buy a T-shirt that says the Humbler on it.
Yeah, me too.
Imagine you win TI and you get to see the Humbler on the ages.
Holy based.
Do you think anyone's actually old in Dota 2, or it's just some bullshit?
It's a bunch of kids.
That's what I think. Who do you think's the oldest Dota player? Like personality, spiritually wise, not actual age.
You?
You think I'm the oldest Dota player? Come on, man. I'm not. There's no way that's true.
Maybe Crystalis actually. That guy shows no emotion at all.
I think he's just an old soul, just vibing, waiting for his day to come.
I'm not even sure if he has a soul, like he doesn't show it.
Oh, damn. I will say this has been one of the darkest teams I've ever interviewed. Like, you guys are on some shit right now, that's for sure. You have any thoughts on that?
I mean, it's good. I feel good about that. I feel like it increases our chances to win.
I actually think there's a point where, like, you kind of just, you break through that barrier of, like, despair. Like, things get so bad that you break through and you're just like, and then you just start playing better. You think you hit that point?
Yeah. I mean, personally, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think every Dota player hits this point because there's a lot of losing that you do.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. This has been Mouse. Wish him the best in the tournament. Good luck, my friend. We'll see you next time.
Hey, I'm here with Ame of Extreme Gaming. Just wanted to check and see how you're feeling after that series.
Amy 能不能跟我们说，刚才那个系列赛打完之后，你现在感受如何呢？
感觉就挺难受的吧，本来第二把可以拿下的。
I'm feeling pretty upset. Game 2 was really close. I think we could have had game 2.
So what do you think needed to change in game 2? You guys were very far behind in net worth, but you held on for a very long time. Amazing game to watch, but what was it like to play that match?
那你个人感觉第二把，当时可能哪方面可以做得更好呢？因为当时你们虽然经济落后非常非常的多，但是你们一直在顽强的抵抗，而且也是几乎要翻盘的一种感觉。那你能不能跟我们也说一下你当时第二把下来的感受是什么样的？
就破对面两路高地那波开悟有机会拿下吧，就可能感觉运气有点不好吧。
Especially there was a time where we broke 2 of their Rexes and then we smoked up. I think that smoke could have been handled a little better. I think if luck were on our side a little bit more, we could have maybe caught out a couple more heroes and be able to end the game right there and then. But unfortunately, luck was on our side, so what happened happened.
Yeah, it's very tough there, unfortunately. What about game 3? Game 3 very one-sided. What went wrong? What started the snowball there for Liquid?
那第3把就跟前面2把非常不一样，就是有点就是碾压性的一种胜利了。那你觉得当时第3把主要问题出在哪里呢？为什么会有这种效果呢？
就可能后面2手补的英雄不是很好吧，感觉就选了青蛙，没有打出我们想要的效果。
I felt like the later 2 heroes that we picked on draft didn't turn out the way that we expected it to, or at least we hoped it to. Especially the Largo pick, it definitely didn't have the impact that we hoped that it would have.
I understand. Well, I'm sorry that you guys lost, but thank you for joining me for the interview. Hey, I'm here with Mid One. Why don't you tell me how you're feeling right now?
Devastated. Okay.
Sorry, what did you say?
Devastated.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That looks really tough. Game 1, you played Sniper Mid against the Huskar. You got the counter pick. You forced him in a jungle. Then things got really bad, right? Like just pressure all over the map. Lone Druid getting killed constantly.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do in a situation like that?
I mean, what do we do? I have no idea.
I get that. Game number 2. You got to play Pango. You played extremely well. Like you were dumpstering the whole map, getting kills everywhere. You're getting ahead. Then what happened in the mid game?
I think we just didn't close the map very well. And I think we bought the wrong items. I feel like we needed the hex earlier for the puck.
Mm-hmm.
But we went for the tanky build for some reason, which I don't think we are taking any fights at any moment. So yeah, just a bad reading on the map.
It's tough. What was it like playing in the last like moments of the game? I felt like they were just jumping in, stabbing you one at a time, kind of a thing.
I mean, it's the puck late game. Like, it's normal. Like, if he gets to get to 25, it's just gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
And they have lack of pucks, so it's like it's hard to jump them. It's just hard.
Yeah, I get that. So what's next for you at this point?
What's next for me? Go home, probably, and maybe cry a little. I don't know, and rest and go next.
Well, I hope it goes better for you. Sorry you lost here, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
He thinks here and play my game. He knows nothing. Let's go!
Tyler won. You're done.
Raw energy. House of blow the house down.
Is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
We booked Esports World Cup up.
And I genuinely just can't believe that the favourites actually went out last night in that way. It was an utter embarrassment to not just their country, but just to the game itself, to be honest with you.
I mean, most Dota teams are really multinational, and to be honest, Mouse is not the favorites. Like, they were...
What, we're talking about Dota?
I mean, I was. What are you talking about?
The survival stage continues today, and things are starting really to heat up on their pitch.
They are. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of big eliminations now, some tough ones. These are a lot of teams that really thought they might have the juice this year, but they're just falling a little bit short. There's some clear big dogs, 6 to 8 teams still very, very good in this tournament, and we'll see if they can make it through.
Well, let's see if they can embarrass themselves or if they won't. Let's get into the Dota.
A very good morning. You're watching Dota 2 at the Esports World Cup, and we're live from Paris, and we are still in the survival stage, the last day of survival stage, and we have 8 slots in the playoff brackets, and 4 are already filled. We need 4 more teams, and we're going to get that sorted out today. And to talk all about it, I'm joined by Seb and Lacoste. Lacoste, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Cheever. Another good day of Dota upon us. And I don't know. I feel like with every single day, things are just getting better and better. We started the survival stage as well, which means there are going to be some tears of joy. There's also going to be some tears, but that's Dota. That's life as well. So somebody needs to be sent home. And it's pretty brutal. And I think these type of environments, they produce better games overall.
Yeah, single elimination, a great format to produce some top tier games, Seb.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the day of Dota. You know, the least important World Cup has been very disappointing for me. So I'm just moving on from that one once and for all. On to Dota Horizons and only Dota Horizons. This is where the real stuff happens anyway. Today is... I feel like it's a clutch day for these teams, like some really big names. I mean, I know we're going to get much more detail about who gets to play and when, but some really big teams, which matchups where none of these teams theoretically should be going home. Like both of them are going to feel extremely disappointed that happens. Exceptional entertainment for us.
Oh, I think so as well. And I think yesterday we already got a little bit of a taste of that, or a lot of a taste of that. We could take a look at our SEC Rewind because, well, in case you missed it, and to be honest, if you tuned in at any point yesterday, there was a high chance you would have tuned in for a Liquid versus Extreme because that best of 3 series lasted about 5 hours. This was an absolute... had a 90-minute game in there. We had a 70-minute games in there, and it was very back and forth because it was an absolute treat.
Yeah, the series pretty much had everything. We had the big Bombo combos as we're seeing on the screen right now. Something that this has to be like one of my favorite moments so far of EWC. This guy's like, oh man, that was it. This is what I came here for. And overall, like you didn't know who's gonna win the series because both of the teams, like game 1, they really powered up. Second game, Team Liquid definitely powered up as well. And in the third game, they kind of got stumped. They felt like they were kind of out of ideas. Definitely devastating for them. Their key also getting crushed. So, you know, a lot on the line. And Team Liquid, they seem to be slightly better prepared in that one.
Yeah, and it was exactly as you said, Seth, for both of these teams, regardless who goes out, that's just big disappointment. That's not the result you go here for.
No, it's a really tough one, and I think it also sets the stage for the teams that are coming in today because they were most likely watching, and they saw, you know, the vibe, the body language, so they know where they could be heading if their mind and their play is not where it's supposed to be today. And then there was a second series, LGD versus Mouse, very much more one-sided, I would say, right? Like LGD seemed to have the upper hand the entire series. I think they were considered the favorites going into it. They didn't have the most solid group stage, so this was like a good statement for them and where they stand actually. Playoff times, perhaps, you know, survival stage, things are getting much more serious for teams, less room for mistakes. And that can be a good news for some teams and some players. Like they rise up to the challenge. Like that's what you expect from teams of that caliber, and LGD definitely did so yesterday.
Second game was pretty crazy. Like nobody wanted to back down. This is what you kind of expect from these two teams, that it's going to be pretty chaotic, especially Mouth, the way they play Dota. But you're also playing against a South American team. This team is known to be in these chaotic environments, making sure that they adapt to it, and they adapted quickly. They slowed things down up until a point where, you know, Lone Druid just took over the game.
He seemed to have enjoyed the key crusher.
Tyler really
we have a key crusher right there. Watch out.
Yeah, we also have the survival bracket here for you guys, and of course we're here for Stream A, so we're focusing very much on 2 series in particular. We're going into round 2 of this survival bracket, and as we heard Purge in the opening that we saw, some big dogs coming to play today, with the teams already waiting for their opponent on this stream's BB Team and Team Spirit. They got to watch yesterday as Team Liquid and LGD made it through day 1 of this survival stage. Do you feel like that's an upside for them, or is it a downside? Like they didn't get to play an official series?
Honestly, like in terms of strategy, getting to sit and watch is probably an advantage. Like you're gonna get more time to talk about the draft together, you know, see how they play the draft, what happens, and kind of discuss as a team how do you want to approach it, what you want to do against it, get on the same page. So that part. But in terms of play, I think it's an advantage for the teams that are playing. You know, Nisha mentioned we're kind of happy that we get to play more games and whatnot yesterday in an interview. And just think about the playtime that Liquid has, right? Like they've been playing like high pressure games like for 5 hours yesterday. So many things must have been figured out in terms of team dynamics and whatnot during the game. So they're just gonna grow much stronger. And their TI run was based on last chance qualifier, right? Like where they had like an insane amount of games and they were able to gather so much knowledge. I think it's pretty much the same here.
Yeah, and for our Sony story of the day, we did go for the Team Spirit versus Liquid series, the Diamond series, we're calling it, because both of these teams, Lacoste, just do better when there's more at stake.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you talk about Team Spirit, for example, this is the most resilient Dota team that I think we've ever had. Like, this is what they're known for. Kind of overperforming even under the pressure, making sure that like all of their games, like when the stakes are pretty high, you know that this team is going to push it to the next level. And we can kind of see the same thing in Liquid. Like Liquid has been slowly powering up, maybe not as like fast as Team Spirit in this tournament, but definitely going to be an interesting one. And I feel like this might be like one of the best series that the tournament might even produce.
Yeah, and we are going to focus our attention on this series because that is up on the agenda first. Going into this, I just want to gauge the field here a little bit. Is there any team in particular that we are favoriting in this best of three? Because for me, it's incredibly 50-50.
The problem with both these teams, for the teams that have to face them, is that no matter the shape they're in, no matter what happened earlier the tournament, earlier in the season, you do not want to face them in a single elim situation. Like you do not want to meet these teams in high pressure tournaments, because you know that if they rise up to the challenge, which they very often do, it's going to be the toughest task in the world to knock them out. So in that sense, I think both teams are coming in very focused, very prepared for, having to pull out like their A game. Because if they don't, you know, Team Liquid in that kind of survival stage, or Team Spirit, as Lacoste mentioned, it's super scary. Like, if they start picking out some teams, these teams could just go ahead and win the whole tournament. So you don't want to face them.
It doesn't matter that Team Spirit, for example, like they didn't win any tournaments in the season. It really doesn't matter at all. Like, you're still facing Team Spirit, and this Team Spirit also got heavily upgraded by Miposhka coming in with some like new, fresh ideas. He took a break, making sure that he feels refreshed, and also you can definitely feel it in their own gameplay now.
Yeah, Collapse has even said that he feels it in the air. There's a buff. Have you ever felt the buff coming from just a tournament in particular, potentially, TI?
For sure. There's that. These players are very used to high pressure. I think at this point they need it in order to perform. It's not even that it's a nerf. I think they just get much better when these tournaments happens, and this is their comfort zone. This is where they shine. This is where they like to be. They want to be on stage. They want to know that it matters. They want to know that it's do or die. They want tough opponents. You know, this is where they strive, and same can be said for Liquid. So in that sense, I think it's going to be a banger of a series. Hoping we get 3 games. You know, I'll take the 90 minutes again. I'm ready for this.
Very much true. Me too as well. We're focusing on Team Spirit first. They are coming in here as the defending champions as well, with an extra buff, of course, to their name, and in a single elimination. Such a scary team to go up against. And as Seb says, they are upgraded a little bit with Not Me and Miposhka. But let's hear more from a player themselves. It's Collapse right now.
Coming to this tournament as defending champions, I don't really feel any pressure. Just no time to think about this. All the time we just practice.
Kill for him. They already call it GG. They know this is over. As a Cataclysm is going to be there for the style points. Triple kill for your Toro. Make it an Ultra and make it a Rampage.
I just want to get the trophy once again. When Miposhka came back and we got Not Me, now roster, I think we pretty much upgraded our relationship in team between each other. For sure we're getting stronger, because Miposhka is doing a lot of work. He's doing also a lot of work with Not Me. Not Me also is doing a lot of work. So I think it will pay the price. Miposhka bring back like the drafts. You don't focus, and he is focusing more on the game synergy between heroes, how they combine, team fight, and stuff like that. At the beginning of group stage, I would say we were not sure in our powers, because for that we lost too many screams, like too many screams. We came on a tournament, but the last day before we arrived on the tournament, it was a happy day, because we won every game.
Egg is placed as well. A nice call into the chop from Collapse.
On this day we won, and we're like, good job guys. We didn't lose our confidence in ourselves. I think it will be the toughest playoffs for us, I would say, depending on teams what we're gonna face. If we make through it, we're gonna be super happy. We'll do our best. I just want to win.
And the field is absolutely stacked. Collapse is very right about that one. It will be one of the toughest tournament for any team here to come out on top. And especially, I mean, if we already see this second round of survival stages, it's crazy. Some of the teams will be sent home today, and one of Liquid and Spirit will be also sent home. So a lot of stake, the pressure, we already talked about it, generally levels people up, Lacoste. And for Team Spirit, that's definitely a thing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I like the way he talked about, them having slightly more confidence, doing well, even though the scrims didn't go too well. And also, you did mention that, with the addition of Miposhka and everything, team is doing better. But also, if we go slightly back to like Dream League, when Not Me first joined the team, we had an interview with Collapse, and he confused, the most confused I've actually seen him. He came like from the break. I think he had pretty much the full month break, and he's like, yeah, I'm laning with this new guy. I was like literally not aware of it, and things have changed. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know anything about the meta, but this is Collapse we're talking about, like one of the goats from the off lane as well, because they are gonna make sure to find a way how to make comeback, adjust properly. And with Poshka, you can tell that he is putting quite a lot of work in this team, making sure that everything is working correctly, as when he was a part of the team as a player.
Yeah, I would say Team Spirit, though, coming out of Group C, some might say that they've only been truly tested maybe the once when they went up against P-Vision on the final day. But before that, Group C, I feel like compared to some other groups, they got a little bit of an easier one.
Yeah, I mean, it's always the discussion in groups, so which group is the toughest and whatnot. But at the end of the day, a lot of teams kind of evolve, and it can also happen that even though the teams don't seem like on paper weaker or stronger, maybe the meta was more figured out in a group or another. So it's always, I think it's very rare that you actually see this translate into playoff matchups and who gets on the winning and the losing side. So very hard to read into what might happen. What will happen though is that if they didn't get tested enough, they're getting tested today for sure, because they're facing Liquid. Liquid just played a 3-game series, which is extreme, that actually rose up to the task and put up a great fight against them. So Liquid is coming in ready, most likely. They figured lots of things out from yesterday.
Well, there's one thing they might not be able to figure out. They might not be able to figure out what hero Yatoro will be playing, because Lacoste,
yes,
a different carry every game, reminds you of a certain time in
certain TI that they did really well at. He's definitely powering up. I would say, Prime Yatoro definitely up there, and we are feeling the same thing. I think it's going to be a very interesting series because Yatoro, he's bringing in some classics as well. He did lose with Nagasaran, I believe. He did win with Morphling, and also maybe some of the more meta heroes that he's playing, these Wind Rangers and Shadowfins. Klink's also becoming meta, but also showing the strength of this team, pretty much saying, we can pretty much play anything at this point, and it's going to feel good. Screw meta, screw the numbers. If you feel hero is good, we're going to pick it.
To me, what's really interesting about this matchup is both Liquid and Spirit are two of the smartest teams in the Dota scene, in my opinion, in terms of strategizing. I think, of course, they factor in what the meta is, and they have very versatile players. They are really able to identify what the opponents are throwing at them in terms of playstyle, in terms of pace that they're setting up for the game. Yesterday, we saw Liquid with the first pick Mirana and a strategy around it. Spirit is not gonna fall for that. They will understand exactly what's going on, and they will know what they want to play against it, and vice versa. So it's gonna be very interesting. I think the drafting is gonna play a big part. We have two great drafting teams and very innovative in a sense. They know how to go out of the box when they have to. So it's going to be cool.
It's going to be very cool. We are going to focus on Team Liquid, opponents for Team Spirit here. Feel like I also have to mention for Team Liquid, last year, they came top 8 at EWC, which granted them a couple of points, but it was a disappointment for them as they were definitely hoping to go further. This year, they're not top 8 yet, and obviously had to fight hard to get to this point to begin with, which is top 12, and top 12 doesn't get you any club championships points. This organization, Team Liquid, has come second in the club championship many times in a row, every single time actually, and they do really need those points. So maybe an extra layer of pressure coming out from Team Liquid. I do want to talk about the Mirana a little bit, because you changed your mind yesterday as a position 5 is viable. Do you think Team Spirit is going to address it?
I got inspired yesterday, and I had time this morning to play a pub, and I just went ahead and picked Mirana. I'm like,
woo,
let's figure out. It went horrible.
Were you position 5?
So Liquid owes me 25. We'll find them later. I was position 4 actually, so I got baited again. But I was playing with Snaking, so
yeah, maybe we were riding that high yesterday after Tofu's performance, where he dealt 70,000 damage. We got slightly baited, saying, yeah, we're kind of on the boat, but not really, because Team Spirit, they didn't pick Mirana a single time. I gotta say, it looks good from position 5. We said it multiple times. It is kind of becoming a meme on our panel, because there is quite a lot of hate towards the hero, but in some games the hero does look decent. It doesn't look like top tier. There was this one particular game yesterday when they were playing against XG, where he bought the Divine Rapier, he got Aghanim Scepter, he got Divine Regalia in a super long game, and he was making quite a lot of plays. The whole draft was also kind of built to fit in Mirana really well, with the Ember Spirit, of course, a lot of stuns, and it did work out well for them. So time to see if it's going to happen again, Shiver.
If it's going to happen, we'll have to wait and see. The draft is, of course, still a little ways away. That does give us time to focus on the MVP that we saw yesterday in the series that Liquid had versus Extreme, which was Ace, coming from the offlane. I think that was the first time that for Team Liquid that Ace got the MVP here at this EWC, so that already is a nice achievement to have. We also just saw him very much have a large impact in yesterday's games.
Yeah, they really needed him to step up. I think he had a very quiet beginning of this tournament. The group stage was a little bit lackluster from him. I mean, based on what to expect. I mean, Team Liquid again is a team that came here to win the whole tournament. Yesterday he really improved his gameplay. I think he can even be better for them. They have a lot of their ceiling is much higher, but in that sense it's very, I guess, reassuring. They're going in the right direction. To me, Spirit is not going to look at him as much as they will be looking at Nisha, because both teams have very dominant and farm-heavy side laners, in a sense. Of course, Mike is a little bit more active than Yotoro, but you think of Collapse and Yotoro on one side, and then Ace and Mike. Mike is still playing carry. At the end of the day, he does need to be hitting some creeps to a certain degree. So Nisha and Larl, they have these tempo controller, allow them to play the map kind of style. And both of them need a good start. They need good support pairing, and both teams excel at that and at building that. So it's going to be very interesting, how they select their heroes, who gets to pick first and who gets to counter pick. I think Spirit is a team that excels at knowing how to shut down mid laners, how to control runes, how to you never see you're never gonna get a free Storm, Puck, Ember, or Earth Spirit game against Spirit. They will make you pay for it. They'll pick the proper support. So I'm looking at that mainly to see what's gonna decide the games.
Yeah, kind of agree with that. But also, to go back to Ace, I feel like he's definitely powered up, especially with the new build. He was the one who pioneered this build so far at EWC with the double heart on Centaur. Looked unkillable in that game. His Darkseer performance was also top tier with the refresher and everything. And then that third game, we saw him kind of Nisha even said in an interview that he was the one who carried the game for him on not his signature hero, on his Timbersaw. So very interesting, expanding his hero pool. And I think this is going to be the lane again that I'm going to be looking the most into.
Yeah, I think all of us, there's so many things to look at as well. Also, we didn't even get the chance to talk about all the late game potential we have here, because both of these teams very well versed in that. It will be an epic battle, but to get a battle, you need the players on the stage. We need to get this series started properly. So we're heading over to that stage for the opening of the day.
And there it is, the opening that you've been waiting for, Shiver. Thank you very much. Our panel, and we are in for day 2 of the survival stage. It is this simple. From yesterday on out, you lose. You're out of the tournament, the running to be the EWC 2026 champion. There is a lot on the line for our teams. That includes their keys being crushed. Where's Slacks? Can we check up on Slacks?
Milos! Milos! Hi! Milos!
Where are you?
Hello!
Where are you?
I'm in the back, bro! I've been here all night! I'm sorry, I wanted to test the crusher! Let me out of here, Milos!
Can we open the door for him?
Hello?
Please, Tech?
Open the door! Milos! Daddy wanna come out and see the Dota! Please!
Let him out!
Oh my god!
What have you been doing back there?
I wanted to go crush some stuff last night, and then all the lights turned off and the doors got shut. I've been crushing shit for 18 hours straight. It's been sick. It was super cool, dude. The crusher is ready. She hungers. Goodbye, crusher. Good night. And we will feed the crusher today, my friends. 2 teams are going home. They will be crushed and added to the other teams, and they don't get to eat them like I did to all the stuff I crushed yesterday. They go straight to the wall, baby.
You get a lot of vitamins out of it.
I know a lot of stuff. I don't know what it was very dark. I don't know what I crushed, but it was tasty for sure.
Fair enough. Well, talk to me. Since you've been here all night, I'm sure you had a lot of time to think about yesterday.
That is true. Yes, yesterday we had an incredible day. Our first series was a mere 8 hours long. No, I'm just kidding. We had a 95-minute game yesterday, followed by, before a 65-minute game before that. It was nuts, Series 1. But we did see Liquid pull ahead under that pressure. And then Series 2, absolute stomp fest. Very fun to watch. Very high-skilled Dota. But it will compare nothing to today. Because we had the guys in the lower bracket fighting, you know? This will be good.
Now it is mini boss time, like we described it in our draw show. So let's welcome our first mini boss to the stage. It's Team Spirit! You know they're fired up for this one. It's the 2025 EWC Dota 2 champions. They might have just missed the mark on that #1 spot in Group C, but that does not mean they do not share endgame boss status with the likes of our quarterfinalists already waiting for them. Another challenger, Slacks, steps up to their plate deep in the caverns. Can they take on what to me is the undead dragon's breath?
Absolutely, my friend. Yes, we have been calling these guys the final boss. And, of course, you got Radon on the team, for God's sakes. He is still here. They are still strong, and they are the team to beat as your champions. However, if there's one team that might be able to beat them, it is this team coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Team Liquid! The record holders for the longest pro Dota game in history. They have broken that this year, and they got close yesterday. As we saw, Team Liquid absolutely dominate in a late game scenario. These guys are used to playing with every single thing going against them. No way to win their games. And somehow, through that pressure, they know how to shine. Because nothing has more pressure than water if you know simple fluid dynamics. That is right. Go take a class, Milos. Go read a book, bro.
Damn.
Sorry about that. You didn't deserve that. Anyway,
Really school me on that one.
It's true. It's fluid dynamics.
The chemistry of this one is we're not melting the keys, we're breaking them.
Damn.
And that is hardcore Newtonian physics at the end of it. Let's see what happens with our matchup. Please, Team Liquid, there you go. That's your chemistry and physics class for the morning. Please, Team Spirit, get set for this one. I hope we don't get a spark and a little explosion from the studio.
I know Tofu hates Yatoro, but he shook his head. Hey, I can't believe it. No, they're very good friends. And Maposhka came out too. Oh my God, there he is. Oh my God, that crowd goes wild. Coach Maposhka versus Coach Blitz, double smarties on that team as well. It is down to be a fantastic game. So let's get into the series and go back to the panel.
Spirit versus Team Liquid as our opening series today for the survival stage round 2. And both of these teams level up under pressure. They do better when it gets tougher, and they do good, very good, in the late game. And that's where my question is, Seth, because we've seen both of these teams do exceptional in the late game. Not just this event, but like through the history. But who's better?
No, I can't answer that question.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. I don't know. I think both of them can really surpass the other team. It's gonna come down to the clutch factor. Like, what version of players are we getting today? You know, like which heroes are they playing? Like comfort, meta. Like, it's so many question marks. It's hard to pinpoint one or the other. What we know is that both of them are going to feel comfortable, basically, at all stages of the game. They're happy scaling. It's like, yeah, sure. Liquid yesterday, they showed that they were able to, manage late game situations. You're going up against Yotoro and Collapse. You really want to take it to ultra late game? I'm not sure, but maybe you do. We'll have to see.
Yeah, the clutch factor from both of these, I would give a slight edge to Spirit when it comes down to clutch, just in the late game decision-making wise, always finding that little bit of something. But we also got to mention that we are experiencing Nisha Prime once again. He has been on point every single game that he played. But we talk about his Ember Spirit performances where he's solo carrying the team, like literally doing 3 different things at the same time, dragging the creep wave, stealing the stack, stealing the XP rune on top of that as well. Or if he's going to be playing something that is not really Nisha style, like we've seen yesterday, playing Necro against some of these matchups that do favor Necro in the laning stage against the Sand King, but also getting quite a lot of done throughout the whole game, even though it's not an easy matchup for him because he can get bursted, especially in these lineups where he has no real support in terms of no saving support, no Ringmaster, Shadow Demons, no Tusk, anything the like.
And I want to mention Box because I think he's the clutch factor for that team in a sense. Like when they won the year they won TI, I think he was like the best 4 of the tournament, by far. It was incredible, like the amount of work he was putting and what he was able to do with the game. He's a very innovative, creative player at heart. We saw him play the Earth Split position for yesterday with great success. And one thing to mention is it was really harder for him to express himself given what was happening on the offlane, because when the offlaner is not doing well, the position 4 is not doing well either. And obviously I'm not saying it was Ace's fault or anything, but as a pairing, they both had really tough starts to the game. And for Boxy, it's going to hurt the team much more than for Ace in a sense, because he is the one responsible for, he's the most vocal of their players. Like, he makes a lot of shot calling in the late game also. He usually sets up the action, sets up the moves. And, the more he's able to express himself as a player for that team, the better Liquid will play. And I think he's also the kind of player to really raise to the task of big games. It's a big game that's presented to him today, so hopefully he can find his form. And I think if he does, this could be the difference maker for Team Liquid against Spirit.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we are in the meta where it's carry meta, so offlaners are not going to be doing too hot, which means that your position 4 is also not going to be dominating the lane, having slightly less gold. There's one factor that Team Liquid always does well, and that's stacking. They're always in top 3. In a lot of the tournaments, they are top 1 when it comes down to the amount of stackings that they're doing in the triangle, so always have something to fall back to, compared to Team Spirit, currently at EWC, who's maybe more focused on the lanes. That's why they're doing so well. And Liquid might have some shakier performances so far, making sure that, you have something to make a comeback into the game. So falling back to stacking. And we do have the draft. So Doom getting banned straight away in the first phase, which is probably going to lean towards this maybe even early Necro in the draft.
Yeah, I think it's a hero that's going to rise up in popularity because it shuts down a lot of the meta heroes. Like, we've seen shuts down Ember, shuts down Puck. I mean, Puck obviously has bad win rate, but still.
And gets first phase banned, the Puck.
Yeah.
Unusual as well.
Right. It shuts down Earth Split. A lot of mid heroes are just not playable when you pick Necro. And obviously the big difference with Necro, unlike Huskar or, other heroes, is that it's a flex pick. It could go position 1. It could even go position 3. We've seen Amar on Falcons play a decent amount. So it's a very easy pick, basically. It's that you pick it, and no matter what, one of your lanes is going to dominate.
Yeah, and the odd one out that we're not seeing banned is the Treant Protector.
Yes, so that's very odd in a sense. Like both teams are probably looking at it, but I think these are teams that are very comfortable with the strategies that they enjoy. So I wouldn't be surprised if it takes less of a priority and they make sure that they secure themselves the strategy that they want, basically. Because these are teams that are so confident. It's more about, can they stop us rather than, oh, we can't give them this or that hero. Like both teams are like, hey, is this hero like a problem if we run, let's say, an SF strat? No, it isn't. Okay, then give it to them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and we have even got maybe a
There you
higher
go.
priority position 5 recently as well with the Bane. So that's something to put on our radar as well. But the Invoker opening pick.
Yeah, I think Bane, the one that you mentioned, is going to get priority in the second phase, especially on the side of Liquid, because this is the pairing that you want to be having. This is something that Spirit ran actually 2 times, the Invoker plus Bane combo, which is a pretty easy Sunstrike setup. It's not like guaranteed, but with these professional e-gamers, it is kind of guaranteed.
I really like this opener by Liquid, and again, like now you know that you're in an A S tier series, you know, like right away when this happens. These are teams that they're thinking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead in the draft, and they're thinking they know Lar's hero pool by heart. They removed what they didn't want to face, and now they know that this Invoker pick is an issue. We're gonna have to like understand as it goes because they've spent a lot of time preparing. There you go. And then that is like a classic for Spirit where like I think Lard, one of his strongest suit as a mid player is that he knows exactly what he wants in every single situation.
Yeah.
Like they can always pick his hero. As soon as he sees the matchup, he's like, yeah, against Invoker, this is what I want to play. Against Ember, Earth Spirit, this is what I want. These are the kind of supports that I need. He makes the game very, very stable for them. And it's exactly what that teams need. Like they have collapsed New Toro. You need to give them enough space and they will pay back. It will pay back big time. So again, Invoker first pick. He wants to play Pangolier.
Yeah, we got the Treant Protector now already banned. We'll see if Liquid wants to... The thing is, if they want to have the Bane, they have to leave something in that Spirit will take, because Spirit has the pick out of this ban.
Yeah, I mean, the value that they would get from Bane is too high. Sunstrike setup, it's very good against the Rolling Thunder, of course. So Spirit most likely is gonna
either
remove
pick it or ban it.
Yeah, or if they want to get it straight out of the phase, which is probably gonna be on their radar.
Yeah, it's a very strong pick for sure.
They ban out Hoodwink.
A hero that's also in that's I think should be high priority is the Coddle. I wonder if they will give it to them. Like Coddle Pango, I think is pretty much back to what it used to be. Very, very strong hero. The one thing with Invoker also is that it's one of the few mid heroes that is pretty static. Like it doesn't really invade because we talk a lot about the stacking meta. Like it's not so much a meta at this point. Like stacking is just a very important part of the game, and especially for the offlane and stacking the triangle because offlaners are having a rough time. Like the meta favors safe lane with hero combinations. So against Invoker, you're going to be able to stack and you're going to be able to clear these stacks pretty freely, essentially. So I like the Coddle pick for Spit. I think it would be a great game for it.
We haven't seen too much of a Pango. Like it was Mouse yesterday who ran Pango plus Coddle, and again, it looked completely broken, pretty much having no cooldown on your abilities. And with both of these teams who can definitely speed things up, Coddle does seem like a very good fit. The pairing that you have, like allowing you, like it's more about the like. Chakra Magic is, I wouldn't even call it like the best ability of the hero. I would even call this hero to be like a healing hero because most of the time his numbers are always the highest when it comes down to healing because he buys into Holy Locket, plus the Glimmer Cape as well. Quite a lot of protection, and the turnaround potential from this hero is insane.
I'm thinking if Mirana is going to be a hero that Liquid looks at because it's pretty strong, like safe lane. I think it's one of the best fives to go scout, stacks, kind of make stuff happen around the map if it has enough setup. I think it's pretty decent versus Pango because you're actually not at threat of dying when you encounter him on the map. And Moonlight Shadow, pretty annoying spell for Pango to deal with. Like the mobility of heroes makes roll a little bit less reliable. We'll see what they go for.
Well, there's
that's a preemptive Bane. Yes. So you can definitely tell that they're kind of on the same boat thinking, but something that Seb pointed out, they are thinking like 3-5 steps ahead, making sure that, some of these picks are counterblocked. I think this is still playable for them if they want to go that route. But we've seen quite a lot of Ringmasters just popping off and having this insane amount of team fight, plus the save, plus the control, the max percent HP. Like, this is slightly undervalued as well, considering that we are in the meta where you have so many tanky heroes. Daggers in the later stages of the game, they deal quite a lot of damage, especially if you can get to like super late game where you are having Aghanim Scepter on that. So all of these daggers are going to be shooting through the boxes. So it does feel very nice.
And all the other spells, right? Like the bonus spells that he gets on top of it. Honestly, this hero, like, I was kind of underestimating it, I think, because the more I see it, the more I think it's very interesting. It's very strong. Like, this hero is really making a big impact on this tournament so far, and I'm not surprised it's rising up in priority. Do you still want to pick the Mirana Comes? I think it's a pretty solid pick here. Ringmaster is good against Mirana, though, in the sense that the arrow stun, if you ever land it, like a max duration arrow, box is going to be great against it. But this is like, it fits the way Liquid wants to play. Because again, you think of Invoker, it's going to come down to this travel, you know, Ghost Push, Force Spirits, maybe Aghanim Shard, like the Quas. And this is where Mirana shines. Like, when you're forcing opponents to split up on the map, and then they have to deal with global invisibility, the threat of arrows. So good combo, you know, like Liquid is looking to play like a skirmishy, split push kind of style, where they will force Spirit to expose themselves and create openings that they will then seize.
Yeah, surprisingly, Clockwork's still in a pool. I feel like Clockwork does really well against like both Ringmaster and Pangolier as well. They're going to go with Tusk, which is, I would say, still to me, one of the strongest position fours, slightly underrated. I would, you know, like his toolkit is similar in a way with Ringmaster, where you have like good amount of ways of like strong laning phase. You have BKB piercing tool on one side. It's a hero that has been well-rounded for such a long time. It kind of gives you everything. And when you pick Mirana, I feel like you also need to have some kind of a setup. And this is also going to be a setup that with the 1-2 combo, like with the 2 supports plus the mid, you can definitely go around and try to make stuff happen.
It's a very good hero against Pango, the Tusk, like one of the best. Great pairing with Invoker, of course, and with Mirana, because it makes you have chain stun, like, again, keep your hero locked in, like chain locked for a while. Shards also make the arrow hit reliable. Obviously, Shard can mess up with the Pango's ultimate pretty simply, and it's just a reliable kill, right? When you go on Pango, you want to make sure he dies, he doesn't get swashbuckle out and get his ulti off, but that never happens against Tusk. Like, all Tusk has to do is to start on the Pango, save Snowball, chase him with the Snowball if he ever gets to swashbuckle, and Pango will be a guaranteed kill.
Acosta, do you happen to have the hero pool of Yotoro at hand? Was Tiny part of that, or is this
No, it's a new hero.
But I mean, he's notoriously known for his Tiny, like very comfortable on the hero, so not so new, just like he's just expanding his hero pool. Hero challenge. Great pick. Like, we've seen Liquid pair the Tiny with Mirana a bunch. Obvious reasons, like, again, Tiny, one of the highest DPS, you know, entry carry heroes. Like, you get jumped by Tiny, it's an insane amount of damage, and that is what Mirana relies on. She wants initiation, you know, heroes that use the fact that, you know, you're invis, you break the invis, you one-shot a hero, all of a sudden the fight is 4 versus 5, and then you get chased down. So it's a deny pick in a sense. Like, obviously they were happy with the Tiny themselves, but they took it away from Liquid. Like, Liquid was looking at Tiny 100%.
Absolutely. Centaur's still in a pool. Like, it could be even good Lycan game, because both of the supports don't like to play against it. For now, it's going to be Necro. Like, we've seen this hero pop off, and we also saw, like, ever since Doom has been banned, that this hero is going to get priority. Maybe not as much priority I would expect. I would maybe expect this Necro to come in slightly earlier, but there's still Ancient Apparition left in the pool, which some teams have been using. But I also want to go back to Witch Doctor. I've been very impressed with how strong this hero is. Like, we saw it yesterday in the Liquid series when they played it against Extreme Gaming, where Shaker, he doubled Echo Slam Witch Doctor position 5, try to get a kill. I don't think he even got a kill in that engagement because of the item builds that they go for with, like, Ghost Scepter, Shard, Glimmer Capes, very survivable position 5.
Yeah. Now, the 90-minute game that Liquid had yesterday, it was Nisha on the Necrophos. He also did the winner's interview. He did not enjoy that game. It was a 90-minute game, and he only had 5 Reaper Scythe stacks due to a Ringmaster.
Yeah, and they picked it again. It seems like for them, it feels playable no matter what. But yeah, I mean, Witch Doctor, like we saw super late game coming out from this hero, level 20 talent, 1% max HP with Tiny, who's going to be sitting at like 6,000 HP. It's quite a lot of extra HP that you're going to be getting.
Yeah, this Witch Doctor heal is no joke. Like it's actually like a strategy in itself at some point. Like it was really impressive. They pretty much broke the game yesterday, Liquid, with the Centaur Double Heart and Witch Doctor. Very interesting. So you can see also, you were asking earlier, Shiver, like, what kind of advantage you get from just sitting and watching. Well, them taking a page, 2 pages of Liquid's book, essentially, like you can tell that Spirit, they've been watching very closely.
Yeah.
And they're even, stealing some of these heroes, abusing the strats that Liquid has maybe, I guess, brought to the tournament. The Necro pick, though, what's interesting about it, I mean, it's playing versus Witch Doctor, a little bit scary versus Ringmaster. It's not the best Necro pick. It's not like a gotcha pick, but it is a great matchup versus Tiny. And this is most likely going to be, I mean, actually, it could be Ace if you just go to the Tiny lane, because to be fair, Necro versus Witch Doctor, Tiny is very chill. Like, it's a good lane for Necro. And if it's on Mickey, then it's just a good carry matchup. Because Tiny, at some point, becomes so hard to kill. Especially when you're running supports like Mirana, Tusk, but against Necro, he's always a threat of dying. He has to be very careful with when he decides to enter the fight.
Yeah, especially with the Invoker from the mid lane, like extra bit of a damage coming up from Sunstrike could definitely make the difference. But I do agree. I feel like this Necro plus Tusk is going to be the offlane duo for Liquid, because a lot of the times, Witch Doctor, not a lot of the times, like 100% of the time, he is the lane bully where he is completely dominating these melee offlaners. And against Necro, he can't really do that because of the extra bit of a heal that you're getting. And also, he's a range hero.
Yeah, Team Spirit agrees to ban out the Alchemist and the Kez, as we are most likely looking for that carry hero for Liquid, and they do not get overall last pick, so
a lot of the Mickey heroes are out, to be honest. Like, a lot of them are banned. Okay, he goes back to something else, the Sven. It's a cool approach. I think it's cool with the Mirana, like, good synergy between these two heroes. And again, like, they have this play style of, like, Invoker's gonna split the map, Mirana, Moonlight Shadow, like, they want like a lot of damage when they enter the fight. Like the first hero that takes contact needs to die. So Sven really plays into that. Oh, and we see Alina. That is interesting. Could
so
it be
offlane Pango?
Offlane Pango, and this could either be Alina mid. It's going to be Alina mid. Okay.
How does Lina do against Invoker? Quite decent, no?
I guess Lina does well in every matchup, but I have to say that this is a game where Lina can easily die, and I'm not the biggest fan of Lina Witch Doctor Ringmaster combo. Like, I think these heroes don't play really well together. Like, if he destroys Invoker mid, then there's no debate. Like, it's never going to happen. But if it's somewhat even, I would give a big edge to Tusk, Invoker, and Mirana. Like,
yeah, Tusk, one of the better heroes against Lina, closing the gap, BKB piercing ability. It just feels good overall. I feel like Liquid, they kind of cooked with this draft, and I'm looking at the itemization for like carry in general, and especially for Mickey in this series. Like, they have no BKB piercing abilities. Like, once Sven gets to his like 3/4 item timings, and he farms them pretty quickly, like, once Sven jumps in, I don't think you have many counterplays. Maybe you can put somebody in the box, but this is also a hero that we have seen use quite to success against a hero like a Draw Ranger with the extra bit of armor. It feels really good against Tiny as well. So I feel like this Sven pick can be really, really good for this game.
Yeah, and again, like, I think Lina plays into Liquid's plan. Like, they want to split the map, they want to scale, and Lina is a rather slow hero. Even if it dominates the early game, it needs a lot of time, like a lot of quiet farming time. And again, I'm thinking of Lina trying to de-push waves against Invoker, running around in Invis. Every time he catches her, she will just die. Like, I'm not sold on the Lina last pick. I think up until that point, it looked pretty solid from both teams. Like, but I have to give Liquid an advantage with the closure of the draft.
Are we going to see a Spirit focus on Nisha in the early stages the way that we saw Extreme attempt to? They brought 3 heroes mid frequently to try and slow Nisha down?
Yeah, probably. But again, their trio is not as strong compared to Team Liquid's. And I think this also came down to Extreme Gaming, needed to fix the issues that they did have, play with the runes. So they maybe even overcommitted to the mid lane at one point. But I just want to see how much this Lina is going to be able to get out of the draft, because we've seen Lina do really, really well.
We're going to find out exactly how much she can get out of this draft and how much Liquid can get out of this. Game. We're heading over to Cap and SPG for game 1.
Two different two-time TI winning organizations clashing here. And this season, it has definitely gone the way of Team Spirit. But while they both have 2 TI wins apiece in this organization, do you know what the win rate matchup is, Avery?
I think it's like 65% Spirit.
Incorrect. It is a dead even 50-50, 25 wins apiece between the two of them. But again, this roster of Liquid has suffered at the hands of Team Spirit.
Maybe I have some recency bias.
Yeah, it could be.
About this year, some of the recent matchups, because I feel like it has gone Spirit's way lately. Maybe some of that's just Liquid not being in top form. I think if they figure out a little more of this meta, they get cooking. We're starting to see some of the pieces come together. This matchup is going to close significantly in terms of that win rate. So I do think these two teams are evenly matched in their primes. Just a question of who can find a little more momentum here today. I think Spirit are definitely favored going into this series, but that's not necessarily a bad thing for Liquid. Like, I think it can be kind of nice to go in as the perceived underdog, and then there's more pressure on Spirit. Not necessarily a team that feels pressure a lot of times, but they can relieve a little bit from you.
I'm surprised that you thought it was so heavily in the favor of Team Spirit, given what we talked about yesterday, which was that you feel like Team Liquid's playstyle matches up very well against Team Spirit. And that does persist through many of their rosters.
When they're able to cook that. I guess what I'm thinking about this year, I feel like the meta has slowed down a lot, and Liquid haven't been able to drive that tempo we're used to seeing from this squad. You know, we haven't seen like a Mickey Furion game where he ends the game at 30 minutes. Yeah, it's just not happening. So to me, that alleviates a lot of the pressure from Spirit in this matchup. I don't think Spirit are going into this series worried about getting run over. I think if anything, you're more worried about the speed Liquid play with in terms of connecting to moves, ganking you, the threat on the lanes. I think whenever the Mirana comes out, you have to think about how do we push lanes out without chain feeding across the map. That is why Liquid like this hero and what it gives you. It gives you that chain stun potential, and it gives you Moonlight Shadow to maneuver the map quickly. You need like Ghost Shove, or you need heroes that can impose a similar threat onto Liquid's cores. That is one thing I do like about the Lina pick and the Tiny here for Team Spirit. It gives you a counter threat. Like maybe you don't want to shove that next wave with the Necropost. Maybe you don't want to shove that next wave with the Sven. I think Lina is a hero that can cause Invoker some issues, but you have to understand the matchup really well. You have to execute it super well. The ceiling's really high. The floor is really low between these two heroes. Okay. And I think a lot of it comes down to knowing how to scale the Lina and at some point getting Blink Dagger or potentially the Shadow Blade buildup, finding this Invoker in the fight and just ruining his day, which you can absolutely do. There's a lot of room for execution there. So I'm kind of excited to see this Lina come out. I'm a big fan of this hero. I still think this hero's busted. I also think this hero has a lot of gameplay against Necropost. If you opt to take the magic resist talent at 15, you can just tank some Reaper Size straight up. It gets really interesting. And we'll see what Laurel opts for here. So far, lane's going pretty well for him.
I mean, most of the time, he's not going to be aiming to use that Reaper Scythe on Lina anyway.
No,
right?
for sure.
His biggest modus operandi is going to be, go on this Tiny, threaten him, get him to half HP Reaper Scythe.
And that's why, in some ways, I kind of like what Liquid got here in the draft game 1. I think they cooked. I think Spirit were trying to block a lot of Ace's hero pool with this Tiny Witch Doctor, saying, we're going to preemptively pick the Witch Doctor. We know you want one of these fatty boys in the off lane, the Centaur archetype. We're going to punch you.
Shards. Nice tag team is going to do a lot of damage to Rue. And with the Sunstrike, a little bit off the mark there. Doesn't get the kill for the Invoker. And the result is that Boxy might end up dying. Maledict, that final tick isn't going to do quite enough.
No, not level 1.
Meanwhile, top lane, Tofu is giving up his life to try and secure this Lotus. It's not going to happen in 2v1, even if they are both low. Sven simply does not do enough. Not
has to be careful here
about this matchup. Yeah, he's stuck around. No more daggers, it seems, from Not Me.
They got the lane back, though. Pretty nice position here for Spirit. As, man, they use this Ringmaster really well in the laning phase. Starting to see Laurel pick up some of the right-click pressure here. There's a quick TP, though.
Bit of cold snap, an opportunity with the blood grenade to land an arrow. Ooh, Laurel just managed to sidestep and still caught the ice wall, and that will likely be the death of him. A couple more hits. Nisha does secure that last hit. Let's talk about this. Nisha Invoker. Something that was auto-banned in the Extreme Gaming series. Presumably because, those two teams know each other quite a bit. They scrim against each other. Extreme very often is at the Team Liquid facilities when they're in Europe. So they feel like it is a big enough threat that they just don't even want to deal with it. Why do you feel like Team Spirit let Liquid have this?
I think Spirit are not afraid of giving a hero like that to a team that will first pick it and they have a lot of time to react.
Okay.
Because their MO is we're going to counter your strategies. They're a very good team at reactionary drafting. That kind of makes it sound bad in a way, like, oh, you shouldn't be reactionary, but they're very good at coming up with counter picks, destroying your idea.
I mean, the first 10 to 12 years of Dota, that was the way to draft.
Yeah, it's kind of an old school idea, and I think it's where Maposhka excels. So I don't think he's afraid of giving you an Invoker and then be like, we have answers to it. We know what you want to do with this hero. We're going to counter it, and then we're going to be very confident in gameplay. He's going to take a lot of damage
It's going to be a bit too much for him. Yeah, pop the Fairy Fire, and it still wasn't even close.
That's super nice. Any bonus kills you get down here with the Witch Doctor against the Necrophos are going to feel really good because you are playing this tiny into Necro. It's one of his worst matchups. So you need Yatoro to have a good start here so you can run around and threaten some of the heroes in this game.
I mean, that was just flat out just bad mistake there from Ace.
A little far up.
Maybe a bit different if he's level 4 and he has Ghost Round. He can dodge some of those hits, but another dagger lands. Mickey ticking, but not quite dying. The Sunstrike tries to find the kill onto Not Me. Not quite enough, though. Tag team turns some damage back around. Boxy wants to make sure that Ace is not under threat here a second time, especially with that TP on cooldown. And taking a look at the CS, Team Spirit is doing very well for themselves. They are leading in all 3 lanes, not by a massive margin, but just a bit. Meanwhile, it seems like the supports on Liquid have still managed to maybe make up for that loss of CS.
Some nice rotations. The rotation mid helped the Invoker a lot, so Nisha's doing quite well here in terms of net worth. He is going hammer, it looks like. Could be nice to get some tower pressure in this game. 6-minute power rune, maybe you can deny it.
Unlikely. Nope. Laurel is already
That's a good one. That's a real nice one here for the Lina. Brawl just continues bottom. This is
Oh, what a cast bounce back. Dude, Boxy's got to be so angry about that one. The Sunstrike is going to be shared between the 2 heroes, but Ace might be able to run the bolt down here. The heal's doing a lot, but Tofu adds some much damage. What a rotation from Lina. That's going to keep things completely on the side of Spirit. They even find an extra kill on Tofu. He's got one more leap charge. As long as he pops it before an avalanche or something comes through. Man, with that rotation from Laurel was so important because otherwise that might have been Ace walking away with the double.
Perfect time, perfect place. He's doing that without boots. Sometimes it's pretty difficult to connect these LSAs in the early game when you don't have that move speed up yet. And it's Witch Doctor heal, MVP of this bottom lane.
Yep.
He's doing a lot against the Necrophos early. I thought the Witch Doctor pick was going to struggle more because they managed to find a tanky offlaner that doesn't care about Maledict as much since you have some sustain.
Yep.
But he went the early heal point. He's counteracting a lot of the lane pressure from the Necro, and then they're just getting these all-in attempts with the level 2 Maledict. They played this lane really, really well. This is not an easy lane for them to run away with here, and they came out with, you know, a 700 gold disparity between this Tiny and Necrophos. Just straight up outplaying Liquid here.
Yeah,
nice
I do
boost.
think that this has been one of the issues that has plagued Liquid this season is that there are some times where this Boxy Ace duo are not up to snuff with the rest of the competition when it comes to the lane.
The lane's definitely been an awkward point for them.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
See if they can muster up some moves in the mid game, but Spirit are going to be happy farming for the first set of items here. You want to get the Fusel Pango, you want to get the Tiny to the Echo, probably Blink build. Lina in particular, this hero's a lot slower than it used to be. I think people still have this concept of like, I'm going to dominate lane with this hero mid and kind of run away with just playing with nukes around the map. But this hero, she needs levels. She needs boots of travel. Almost every game, you need the item after that. Usually boots of travel, Kaya, like level 10. Then you can start to like, boots into a fight, throw out 2 rounds of spells. You're pretty effective at that point. But it can be a little slow to get there, especially if you get ganked.
Yeah, again, the meta is kind of slow right now. So many of these heroes are going to be played differently than they were in the past. Liquid as a team is definitely slowed down quite a bit. And you can see it from the drafts. Sven, Invoker, Necrophos. I mean, this is just not a lineup that I feel like Liquid of 1 or 2 years ago would be no chance of them picking something like this.
Does scale pretty damn hard, though.
Yes.
You're going to have Alacrity Sven, the Invoker late game, and then this front line from the Necrophos that even if you kill him, the other 2 cores are also carries. So,
and that's where I wanted to lead to. Do you have a draft that you favor in the late game? Because they both are going to scale a lot.
I have to favor Liquid a little bit just with... If it goes ultra like we saw yesterday, 60 minutes plus, and you have Invoker Mirana, and the Tusk snowball save, yeah, I think it's going to be really hard for Spirit to lock on to heroes and find the big kills. But this Lina is a real wild card. Like, this hero can do some insane things in 5 or 6 slot territory, especially just starting the fight in a weird way where you have this flame cloak, you find some initial stun into burst damage. If the snowball doesn't come out, maybe you're just able to sit there and deal the highest DPS in the fight. It could get real weird. So that's my one wild card for this. But otherwise, I think if you're Spirit, you definitely want to find more action in the mid game, particularly bringing Yatoro into this game with the tiny build-up. Whatever he prefers, get him active.
Arrow, not the longest duration. Snowball. So the first rotation of Ace off of those boots and travels is a rousing success. You got to be very happy with that. Super efficient. He can go back through the gate potentially if he wants to get back to bottom lane, or maybe just hangs out here for a little bit.
All space for the Invoker too. Nisha just not being pressured at all in this early game. Liquid have to be very happy with a first pick Invoker going unscathed. You don't get that every day of the week here.
Yeah, that is one thing Team Spirit do. Their 2 supports are much worse at putting pressure on mid lane.
100%. They don't interact with Invoker well at all. And I was going to be... My thought when this Invoker came out, I thought Spirit were going to first pick something like Clockwork. Just get some simple gap close, a hero that's annoying for him that can maybe enable some other heroes that aren't as good as directly interacting with him. Suddenly you have a gap close mechanism. The other answer used to be Void Spirit, but they probably feel that hero is just not good enough.
Yeah.
I think Pango's kind of like, it's solid against Invoker, but it hasn't interacted with him so far, so you're giving him a very free early game.
I mean, Ringmaster does have to be a good answer to Invoker in a different way, right? With that box save is super good against him. Tofu, not dead yet. Moonlight Shadow is going to allow him to live a while longer. In fact, he even has some lawn charges, so he's pretty good to go. Meanwhile, the Tiny actually came through the gates as well. Now, he's going to go back through.
They were looking for the fight up here into the tower, especially with the Rolling Thunder potential. They'll just take the nukes, farm up the Diffusal, send the Tiny back bottom. No pressure going into Spirit on this map right now. That's going to be the Meteor Hammer Invoker. If Nisha feels he can start running at some towers and doing some DPS here. Otherwise, you just got to be wary of the Pango's strength in these team fights once that Diffu comes out. Should be strongest hero on the map at that point.
Yeah, it's rather spooky. So Liquid likely looking to be dodging fights around right now. Nisha trying to...
This is a nasty Invis rune.
Yeah, he's got double sentries, so he is already spotted Laurel. I think Nisha's just trying to waste his time a little bit, act like, oh, maybe you could get me. Maybe I don't know you're Invis. 12-minute power rune easily picked up, and Laurel with the shield rune is going to go full offensive. Fortunately, Creep Wave does push in, allowing Boxy to get a snowball off. Still, they land the dagger off of it. Damage over time from the slow burn, and the dagger is not enough to get the kill, though.
A lot of harass. Still have that shield rune in the bottle, so you can definitely push the lane and try and pressure this a little bit. Oh, and they're going to smoke supports. Are you going to head top again, though? It feels hard to connect on this top lane. It's just Morana sitting up here. Maybe you look for Sven in the jungle? He's a very tanky boy.
If you catch him on the low ground, set up for a good cast.
This is a perfect setup.
Them. Yeah, the Mickey should be dead here. They have the whip and the wheel and the LSA. My goodness, they threw every bit of stuns. They wanted to take no risks whatsoever. Make sure Mickey dies. The punish is going to be here, but... Well, actually, it's not the worst punish. I was going to say core for support, but somehow Rue had a killing spree, so that kill was actually worth a little bit extra. 303 gold at its base.
That said, you're taking a level 10 Sven off the map during this Mask of Madness period where he's trying to accelerate against the Tiny. Big win for Spirit here. Did commit a lot of ults. Maybe a little overkill, but again, that Sven was pretty tanky, so maybe you needed it all.
Collapse. The pressure he exudes with these swashbuckles. Just one round on Tofu brought away half his HP and burned a bunch of mana. Hard to be able to stay out on the map or in this lane when you get your resources burned so easily like that.
They are bringing the Invoker top. Liquid trying to fight
Got him on the
here.
Tornado. See if they can land the arrow to allow the Meteor to do maximum damage. Still got off the shield crash, and he can get off the Rolling Thunder with ease here. Maybe not, actually. A little bit of Cold Snap. They have the box to save him. Tofu just managed to get the leap away. Yatoro throws a branch at him, but there's the smoke dodge from Tofu just to make sure he 100% survives. Not me. Yeah. Going back up to that high ground, trying to bait him in. I mean, Team Spirit got to be the stronger team in these fights right now, so understandably, Not-Me is trying to dare Liquid into fighting him. They do have Ace coming over.
The Centaur Stomp.
The Centaur Stomp. That just ruined Ace, who was looking for the Reaper side kill onto Not-Me, and now he's in big trouble.
Yeah, mana burn.
He's going to pop his Ghost Shroud to dodge this damage from the Pango, but it easily sets up for Lina, and now Tofu's going to get bumped as well. This was just not a fight that Liquid was ever going to win easy, and as soon as they missed out on the Pango kill, I think it was all gone.
I would have just bailed after Collapse or the meteor damage. To me, that was not convincing enough. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go farm.
Yeah.
Because you don't have God Strength there. If you have God Strength, I think you could maybe take the second half of that if you bait Spirit in deep. You're going to get God Strength. You're going to maybe get the Reaper kill. That Centaur did him no favors, but I don't even know if he really could have landed much there. You have some heals coming through. You have to be very careful with going for the Reaper kills in this game. We saw how much the Ringmaster can do a disservice to the Necrophos in that regard.
Right.
Like, you go in, this guy's low, I'm going to Reaper him, he gets boxed, and then you're just stuck in no man's land.
Which means so often the Necro then has to try and Reaper the Ringmaster, and that's...
I think it gets weird.
Positioning-wise, not really wants to be.
I'm also surprised Liquid wanted to fight that so bad because you have a lot of farm on the map right now. You don't have a lot of fight. Like, you have a Boots of Travel Necro. You have a Meteor Hammer, Boots of Travel Invoker. You have Mask Madness Sven. These are all items designed to accelerate you across the map in the jungle to get you to your fighting items. Like, I don't get Boots of Travel and I want to fight, right? I want to get a Reaper kill, or I want to get some random pick off somewhere. But a Spirit are going to group for a tower, and they're going to bring the Tiny into that play. You're not advantaged in terms of the net worth at that point.
Snowball rolling after him, does catch Not-Me. Actually threw out the wheel, hoping that it would somehow save him from a fate, but very dead. Boxy, while he's there, we're seeing a lot more sentry blocking camps. And it's definitely been a heavy trend in the last 6 months. Meanwhile, Ace dying on the other side of the map is a way bigger deal. Team Spirit making use of this early Shadowblade. Yatoro is on the hunt. He's got 9,000 net worth, rather largely, and that's about to grow as every objective is going to fall.
He's so fat. We saw how effective this Tiny was in Mickey's hands yesterday. I think Liquid understand the strength of this hero, and Spirit just took it out of their hands. They would way rather have carry Tiny than Sven. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
He's just a faster version. He creates more threat on the map. He invades your area sooner. This could be a big problem for Liquid. They don't have good heroes to fight the Tiny directly. You just have to kind of shove the waves out and dodge him. And yeah, Toro, he's on the hunt. He is great with these Shadowblade carries.
Caught him and killed him. Tofu goes down, and these are just easy kills for Yatoro. Making these rotations like this, I mean, it's not slowing him down at all. Every hero kill that he gets, he's not losing out on GPM.
Squishy heroes in this game. You invested in early Boots of Travel, but you're losing map control. And this is where the pickoff game between the Lina and the Tiny is going to cause Liquid some issues before the true lane shove comes online. Like, it's a little slower to do right now. You have to linger in some areas, and that's where you're just afraid of where these two cores are right now.
Yeah, things like Necro, off-lane Necro, having to go Boots of Travels, then a Radiance, like this.
He's very
until
susceptible.
You get that third item that actually tanks you up a little bit. And even then, at the rate, if you're behind a net worth like this, like Lina and Tiny are just going to be always able to one-shot.
This is where winning that lane is really important. If you're ahead on the map as the Necrophos, you get more ahead. When you're behind, the Tiny pushes you farther behind because you're afraid of where you're going to show. Even if you buy a Wraps right now, I'm not sure it saves you from the full Tiny combo with any follow-up.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it might be some sort of weird game where you have to just rush BKB third item on Necro.
Maybe. It's also not a spell Tusk can save you against. Avalanche is just way too annoying to blink into.
We're also seeing Tofu. You talked about the Mirana. I thought one strength you didn't say about the Mirana is...
Oh, he's sure looking for big plays.
Rune, if the arrow lands, it's real good, but it does not. And the opportunity is gone, and instead it's going to be Nisha dying. And look at Not-Me coming in from behind with the wheel as well, making the retreat real difficult for Liquid. They're going to bleed out multiple heroes here. It's the two supports and the Invoker.
Spirit looking in prime form right now. They're not forcing any bad moves. They're connecting everybody to the fight. And it's Liquid who look pressured to make something happen. But again, you just don't have the items for it right now. Mickey's going to try and get something here.
Trying to get a fast kill on Rue, but now he's going to get Avalanche. Now he's going to be stunned up. The Reaper Sight does manage to cut down. And at the same time, Yatoro doesn't threaten Mickey. That is the one hero he's going to have a hard time bursting down. The Maledict will do enough. It's close. 150 HP left over in the end.
That's something. He almost kind of botched that play. He didn't get the Stormhammer off before the mom silence. That was a little weird. But you get the job done. Got to protect your wards against the Ringmaster illusion.
Oh yeah, going back to the Mirana, right? I think one strength of this hero is also how much it farms and can scale into late game. We saw Tofu. He was playing like, it reminded me of like Snake King playing Enchantress, playing in the enemy jungle, taking away their neutrals all the time, right? And he's just breaking smokes. He's easily able to get out with Leap, and he's just, you know, slowly sapping away your map, your economy.
You should be the most farmed hero when you're playing Mirana in terms of supports.
And he can't do that this game. Because you talked about it, like Tiny and Lena are very good pickoff heroes. It makes it a lot more difficult for you to play on that side of the map. I mean, Tofu hasn't really done any of that, and it's mostly just been trying to set up arrow kills, which have been a bit hit or miss.
Full silver edge for Yatoro. He is really scary in this game.
Taking Tormentor while the safe lane Radiant Tier 1 tower is still up.
A little risky. Should get it here, though.
Yeah, how many heroes are going to get out afterwards, though? They're going to be a little bit low. They're going to smoke and make a run for it. Some are TPing, some are running. And here it comes. Oh, look at Not Me. That's the play you want to see right there. Unicycling in to see if he can catch some heroes. He will not get there in time, though.
Nice little steal from Liquid. Not an objective Spirit we're expecting to lose here.
Yeah, especially moving, like it's even worse when you move all 5 heroes of Team Spirit to that corner of the map, find nothing for it. Like Nisha's ratting you out right now. He's already bought out his shard, so he's going to be doing this very, very stupid ghost walk, pushing, which we got to get this out of the game sometime.
It's pretty ridiculous, especially since it procs Searing Signet.
It's the lowest skill ghost shove that has ever existed.
For sure. You're just running through creeps. Need some blink daggers to punish this. Even then, it's pretty difficult to find this guy. Liquid trying to set up something for Laurel up here.
All right, so Laurel knows the Invoker's here. Nami's going to try and spring forward and catch him on the Essence Distiller.
Almost had him.
And got him on the dagger.
It is a great item against Evoker here.
All right, so some heroes showed. Immediately back to the other side of the map. Team Spirit with more map control. They're the ones who control the gate, so they can be moving back and forth a little bit more efficiently, but it's a game of cat and mouse. They're trying to hunt down these Liquid heroes. And Liquid so far, right now, are doing a good job dodging them.
They're getting more off the map. This is what you want with the double bots plus the Sven. You're going to farm a little faster right now, but not by much. But these items should pay off, particularly the Radiance for the Necrophos. If you can get to a couple items worth of survivability, you're a lot more confident to enter that fight. I'd say the blink for Boxy is also huge here. He's pretty close, 100 off. Gives your cores a lot more confidence to just go in the fight if the snowball save can come out. Be interesting to see who's pressured to force a move in this kind of stalemate.
Yeah, I
think both teams are pretty confident scaling their cores up here. To me, Spirit have a little more onus on them. Find a core pickoff. It's not a huge margin, but you have this tiny running around invis.
Team culture-wise, like, when have you ever seen Team Spirit overdo it in the aggression?
Very
trying to force things happen, right? It always seems like they're kind of comfortable scaling.
Maybe in the Toronto Tokyo days.
Maybe
he tended to force a little more.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Maybe they didn't like that. Something to be said there. Well, they're just gonna do Roche. I think this is a fine call. If the Tiny's not finding pickups on the map, you should abuse the fact that Liquid get something here. So that's gonna be a free Aegis for Yatoro. He's gonna instantly TV bottom and try and clear anybody out of this bottom lane. The lead has not grown, though. In fact, it has gone Liquid's way over the last 10 minutes. 5K swung back.
Could change things with pickoffs like this.
Punish that Mirana. That's what we're talking about. You just can't farm deep here in this style of game.
I wonder what Tofu even does about this, because you're not going to be able to. You can't have sentries.
on disc.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, you know, he's going to be ratting the map a lot. He can't get sentries out. The map's too big when you're trying to rat like this to be able to always, you know, see where this tiny is coming from. So
go early gem blink or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Mirana's just not the most survivable hero.
Oh, got him in the wheel. Beautiful stuff from his, not me. Nisha will have to expend his BKB, goes for a TP. Can they kill him fast enough? Oh, they got him.
Okay. That's a big find. And BKB is going to be on cooldown for a while, even when he respawns here.
Oh, look at this. Look at this ace. Oh, he went for the hit. That was greedy, Toro. That could have been another kill.
He probably feels he doesn't die there unless he gets the hit off, which I think is true.
That's probably fair.
He's just going to walk back into base. Still, huge find on this Invoker. This is the biggest hero to take off the map every time. It's going to give you a lot of room, a lot of space.
Ooh, nice blink away there from Boxy. Let's see, the supports are the ones trying to head out these lanes. If Tiny goes and catches them.
What a sick catch.
Yeah, that was really well done.
But to catch Invoker with wheel, just straight up.
Like, the execution of, like, casting the spells is kind of like whatever, because, you know, Invoker's running a straight line, but to have that set up in the first place, right?
Exactly.
To have those wards in that position, be ready for
the idea, the timing, not get counterplayed, you're hiding behind a tree, all those little vision things is what makes that play work. Buys you a lot of breathing room here as Liquid just trying to get to BKBs. They're going to hit a really nice triple BKB timing in this game very soon if that Necro BKB arrives.
All right, so Avery, are they going to fight with those BKBs, or are those BKBs that allow them to pull the Nightfall?
No. You're fighting with that.
Okay.
You have Gem on the Invoker too. They did purchase it up off the back of Tofu being mega rich here. You get those triple BKBs, you have Gem, you have Mirana ulti. You want to start fights on your terms and get this Sven into the game with Alacrity on top. He's going to demolish these Spirit heroes. He has free reign. And they're smoked up before this Necrophos BKB even arrives. They feel like they don't even need that one.
That's interesting. I wonder what they see from their perspective that says this is an opportunity. Right, the only reason you go before your item timings is you think there's an opportunity. You see something on the map.
Must have just been some quick call from Boxy that they're going to try and pick somebody, like try and find Lina on the enemy triangle, I think was your best opportunity there.
Okay.
Laurel's just already very tanky. He already has BKB. You have the extra magic resist from the Flame Cloak. You do not want to underestimate how tanky this Lina is. Now the Sven will chop him down because he has no armor. But outside of that, he can tank a lot in this game.
I do think that this little move here from Team Spirit, pushing in mid lane, now looking to take this top tier 2, delayed by the glyph a little bit, but I think this, you know, they're accelerating the game a little bit nicely.
They scan their own triangle.
I know. I mean, they're playing so much of the enemy side of the map, and they're going to go for the kill on Rue, but the entirety of Team Spirit is on their way. And the BKB is up for Mickey, so you can just BKB TP out. This time around, they will definitely not have the damage.
That was Rue just running in, knowing they're there, trying to bait some linger around from Liquid.
Sure, if they don't have BKB on Sven, he likely gets caught and killed, right?
So he probably says, whatever. You can take the Witch Doctor here for some
nice catch. Not me. Got the whip on Boxy when he was trying to do the shard snowball play. And they're attacking him with damage, making sure he can't get the blink out. So he'll die here. Very nice.
Look at the positioning on the map. The Lina's up top, the Tiny's down bottom. They're spreading the threats out, causing Liquid a lot of issues here. Yeah, you can continue to just ghost walk a bunch of neutral camps, but you're not pulling ahead. So we're gonna have to find out just how hard this Sven's gonna scale in this game.
Yeah, we haven't seen Sven in a hot minute as a top meta hero, and I think there's a good reason why.
Who knows, man? It's a true wild card.
I don't even know what talents you go for nowadays. He's probably going to go the Warcry armor. Or does he?
Yeah, I think you take Warcry armor. The 25 talent, I think, is still a mixed bag. We see people take the God Strength damage a little more. Especially since they removed the bonus damage on the stun. I think that talent goes up even farther.
It's interesting the way this game is played. I wonder if that God Strength cooldown talent, I wonder if that's actually better farming than Great Cleave. If you're just popping it off cooldown like Mikedez was like his razor, just use the ultimate all the time as much as you can and just clear through neutrals.
I could see it. Probably nice in the late game too.
That is for sure.
Spirit.
Oh, Boxy whiffs the initiation. Maybe it's a good thing because it meant that Mickey didn't immediately bite on it, which would have been disastrous. I mean, it probably would have been another BKB TP out scenario. As it is, Mickey's just able to run away.
They were
unused.
Completely setting that trap for Liquid. And that's the difference between a team that understands what's happening in these lanes and where the threats are, and you just like casually walking in and feeding there.
Nisha showed himself. Yutoro's hunting. Where's Team Spirit have a gem, right?
Yes. It's on the Pango.
Oh, Pango has it. I'm surprised they haven't given it to Tiny.
Well, he did go early Lincolns here, so Collapse is a little tough to go on, especially with the saves behind him.
Yeah, but isn't the Tiny the bigger threat to killing the Invoker? Well, I guess they both, like, if they both carrying gem, then he's not going to get Invoker.
It's pretty tough to find Nisha in this game. I don't think you want to overemphasize it. You're going to spend time chasing ghosts, literally, and just lose out on opportunities or farm. You have to let the game come to you.
Fair enough, and it is coming to them right now. Team Liquid going for a smoke play, blink away from Collapse. Boxy doesn't catch him for a second time.
Just
Team
collapse
Spirit,
things.
Just too fast.
You just want to make in this game, but that'll be Tormentor for Spirit if they man up here. Could go through the gate as Liquid.
I mean, that
very
would be an
risky.
Insane move considering how disciplined they've been about dodging fights. Just stumble into a potential trap like that.
Not a bad chart to get in a game that's very burst, single target oriented.
Yeah,
if you
really
can dodge
good
a
against the
Stormhammer,
combo.
yeah, exactly. If you dodge some big discrete damage here, not bad for the Doctor. Still got that Gree running.
Yeah, he's got 900 gold that could be expended at some point.
I fully expect to see some A on this. We go late here. This is a game for that item if I've ever seen one.
You're talking about for both sides, right?
Yes. It's just a huge amount of single target burst damage in this game off of a lot of crazy initiators that are going to be hard to check in the fight. Still less than a 5k difference here. There's the Basher for the Pango, though, so now you can't rely on the BKB TP. No more Nightfall Dota here. And there's the Blink for the Lina. So to me, this is when this Lina Invoker matchup starts to shift a little bit, or at least the threat of Laurel onto Nisha goes up considerably. Because if you enter the fight as Invoker and try and drop some combo on someone, he can just Blink LSA Laguna you. And even if you BKB, as the right click picks up here, it can do some serious work.
Right. So the next step is getting that 25 talent, the attack crit.
It's a big one. Hex would also be nice here. You can continue to scale the magical single target burst threat. You can also go back into right click with items like Parasma. We'll see what Laurel opts for here.
Yeah, I think Scythe, when you already have Blink Dagger build up, that sounds pretty good to me.
You also have two
Different
other.
if you go Shadow Blade.
You have two other physical damage cores. So there's also an argument that mixing the damage here feels a little bit better. They're going to run into the Invoker.
They actually jumped the Tiny. They're really going to go for it now. He's going to get boxed. Collapse, now taking a lot of damage from Mickey. He might not be able to get up the Rolling Thunder. He almost dies. Meteor being dropped. A lot of damage, both Ace and Mickey. Mickey's the one to fall here. Ace still trying to make a run away. Ace, who had used his Reaper's Scythe, now no longer has much of a threat. It's up to Nisha to deliver the damage, and the Lina is killing him. Gem's going to be dropped in the ground, and Team Liquid might just get wiped here as Tophin tries to rescue the Gem, and all he does is leap into his own demise.
Lina did so much work in that fight. Just a perfect position for Laurel. He's able to sit right on that tree line. Nobody jumps him. All the focus is on the two tanky frontliners, and the box was instantaneous. Exactly what you want from this Spirit lineup. You're just getting baited onto the wrong targets. Yeah, the Sven does a crap ton of damage, but not enough fast enough against all that tiny arm. Worst target to go on here.
Yeah, in a way, it was almost good that Collapse was so close by. If Mickey had been able to kill him there, then maybe the fight right? He doesn't run into the Lina as much, but just didn't have quite enough damage. Collapse is tanky enough, and then it comes back through. And
Sick LSA.
Absolute havoc on him.
He landed stun on the Invoker and the Tusk as Boxy was in the middle there, and then he lands another one on him.
Nasty stuff.
That's the power of this hero. And this is why this hero always wants frontliners. Like, yeah, he has 2 range supports. That's not great. But the other 2 cores for Spirit know their job. You got to go in. You got to tank some spells so that this Lina can play the full fight. And it will carry you over that hump.
This is what we're talking about. Like, yeah, we can see it. Liquid want to rat the map. They feel more confident about their late game. And looking at their draft, they do have some late game heroes. But Team Spirit, as you said, let the game come to them. And that's exactly what happened. Liquid tried to actually take some sort of offensive action, and Team Spirit were well set up for it. I mean, it feels like Liquid would be more even in this game if they never made a move. It feels like all their moves are actually bad.
But the moves could have worked. So, you know.
Yeah, of course, of course.
They really need the Daedalus on mid guy. I think that's the biggest damage upgrade they can get.
Yeah, to get that.
You also really need the Alacrity to go out on him before he jumps.
Just pop into each other once again. But this time it's time to jump into Sven. Can they get the wheel? He's actually turning to hit the as best he can. Yator might die for this one. Now Mickey has to run. Collapse. He's going to roll through him and finish him off. Boxy almost dies to Lina. Lina being threatened by Ace. Meanwhile, poor Tofu is just getting chain stunned. But the Rolling Thunder ran out. Tornado comes in. A punch in the air. No swashbuckle to get out. And it's Liquid to win it. Finally, the offensive fights from Liquid pay off.
Boxy does tick out. Just some of the burn damage here.
Yeah, that slow burn. It mounts up. It mounts up.
But there's no way Laurel's going to threaten anybody here. And that is a solid team fight for Liquid. That looked real rough with how it started. I thought Mickey was going to get chain stunned by that wheel, but he's able to get BKB off. That makes all the difference there.
And this time, the Lina is farther out, not able to have that immediate impact.
How did that was so close to landing.
It was.
Does get the Alacrity, though. The lay into the tiny with the Alacrity hits. That is the damage you need. He kills 3 there with some extra cleave. Ends up being a pretty good team fight for him, even though it goes down.
Beautiful tornado timing.
And both these teams are trying to get as much value out of the frontliners for the Invoker and the Lina to clean the fight up. Like, those are your true carries here. You're almost just trying to buy time in the trenches.
Now, the upside for Team Spirit is...
Oh, he's already 25.
They lost a fight. Oh, he actually with a slow burn
He took the slow. That's crazy to me. I think that's the way more unreliable talent with how the slow burn can get removed.
Is it just basic dispellable?
Yeah, as far as I understand.
Okay.
I think when you go this magic build, he's thinking I'm not going to be trying to play for right clicks too much. I just want to get a volley of spells off, kind of reset position, get another volley of spells off. It does do a crap ton of damage with the spell amp as well. You got to remember your spell amp is amping the slow burn. This is the higher DPS build for the Magical Lina.
Longer fights are definitely going to be more beneficial, right?
It's a scary amount of DPS for sure. No question about it.
Oh, well, time for tier 4s. Time for some Conjurer's Catalyst. How many did we get?
Well, he kept the Searing Signet on the Lina, a tier 4 Searing Signet.
Well, that has to mean that
he did not get
Conjurer's Catalyst.
For sure.
Well, Liquid got 2 of them. Tofu and
They got
Ace
3.
have theirs. Now one on Nisha as well. Oh, yeah.
The Invoker wants the juiciest here. That's what you wish you had on the Lina. Liquid will have the spellcaster advantage here. Also pushing towards a Hex.
Yatoro is still holding on to a Dormant Curio. Do you think he actually uses it on tier 4? Because I feel like
the tier 4s aren't that great, I think, for a lot of the right clickers in this meta right now.
Yeah, like Giant Small is just a bit underwhelming, right?
There's no way I'm using it on Giant Small. Yeah. There's no way. Imagine an
Player,
upgrade
if you
at
get
tier
players
5.
Boda, you take that, right?
I could see that one. Yeah, it's super good on Tiny. That item is disgusting on this hero.
And if he doesn't get players Boda, he might just hold it for tier 5s. Because it's a dead even match. 4,000 net worth lead for Team Spirit isn't really much at this point in the game. Big D initiation. Here comes the arrow. Nice force staff getting Not Me away and putting Boxy in an awkward position where Toro's likely to kill the LSA on the right side, though. Lina stops Mickey's initiation. Rune tries to do as much damage as he can. Even the bash on Mickey. Harpoon up to the high ground, though, but Collapse is going to chase him down with the Rolling Thunder. Beautiful stuff from Team Spirit.
How did they find him there so quickly?
Yeah, seriously. It was right as Mickey was about to make his blink in. Nisha gets dodge, collapse here. It's the bash that he's afraid of, pushing him back with the deafening blast. And now the BKB is expended, and he'll be caught as well. 3 down on Liquid side.
The Spirit supports are just so fast and decisive. That is what's like, they do not hesitate. The second that LSA on the Sven and they saw him, I'm assuming with flying from the flame cloak, he was like dancing over the Roche pit.
Yeah.
He just instant jumped with the Witch Doctor and tried to cast him. And honestly, Liquid got lucky that cast did not bounce. It could have just perma chainstunned them right on the spot. But you still are able to land the Maledict. You're able to survive with the switcheroo. And that's just
this
a rough
is kind
fight.
of awkward. Team Spirit went to Roshan afterwards, but
they're not healthy
Tofu
enough.
with an Aghanim Scepter. That arrow came through, it hit the Tiny, it did the Starstorm, and it's just dangerous enough. Team Spirit feel like they have to take the fight. They have to take the fight, and the numbers advantage. They do manage to burst down Tofu, but it costs Not Me his life. Ace doesn't have the Reaper sight, so he's really not much of a threat.
Spirit know it. They're just running in.
He's going to chase down, and Ace is going to die as well. Got off the Ghost Shroud. He'll live a little bit longer. Maybe it's different if he has like 25, but again, without Reaper sight, it's just kind of like, okay, he's there, but...
Another sick call from Spirit, recognizing the situation, not afraid to overcommit with low HP cores because the Reaper's on cooldown. And they just instantly go. Like, there's just almost no hesitation. I cannot believe Not Me just jumped in there like that. He basically jumped with nothing, died instantly, but then you get a good fight.
Yeah.
Because I think Liquid are just confused at that point.
If they don't play that as fast as they do, they don't catch Liquid, a little bit out of sorts, and Liquid just kind of pokes at you with these spells. Roshan then swaps over to the other side. Like, then things get really awkward. But as you said, the speed is the name of the game for Team Spirit in this. Fast decision making leads to big dividends.
And they get a gem out of that as well. I believe Liquid, no gem for them when you're running this Invoker with the Ghost. Really sting here, especially against the Tiny threat with the constant Silver Edge initiations. So these gems are invaluable in a game like there's a full Abyssal for the Pango, even more control for the Sven. To me, this is the anti-Sven item. I think Sven hates playing against Abyssal more than any other item in the game.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that
so
Collapse
debilitating.
valued that item so heavily that he still doesn't have an Aghanim Scepter. Right?
I'm totally fine with this. I think if you go in there and you Abyssal Sven and then you bash him at any point, you remove half of his BKB duration, that is the hero. Like, he will get slain in these team fights without BKB available. You have to get a lot done in that window.
Yeah, is there any hero that's more dependent on that BKB window? Any carry that's more dependent? I feel like Sven's got to be number one. Little pick off. Oh, what a cast! Does that lead to the kill on Nisha? Ooh, gets out of the LSA ever so barely. Now Mickey comes through, went after Collapse, but he already got off the roll up, and now the Rolling Thunder chase down the back line. He's going to go after Nisha, and they got him on the Avalanche right now. Abyssal Blade on Mickey on the way through, and Nisha just can't make it out. He gets bashed up trying to get through the gate, but Collapse is there on the other side to welcome him to his home. Ace went in with this BKB. Nobody's really low enough to be threatened by him. They are going to offer him a way out, but with so much mobility on the side, they're able to get Chase, and the damage is just not there, man. They try and get a kill on Collapse, even if they did manage to get that. It is Liquid almost getting wiped inside of their own base.
Beautiful chase down. Multiple target prioritization. The wheel is displacing everybody in the fight. The Sven jump did not work out due to some more quick reactions from the Pangolier. It's so hard to jump this team. And after that, it looks easy. Double Laguna, a lot of slow burn damage coming out, and you're just running people down. And once that fight is broken, once the Sven has to retreat, there's no hope of turning it. The Pango's just rolling at your Invoker. He can't turn that situation. You got an Abyssal on the Sven on the way out. Just a nightmare in terms of the control coming out from this lineup. I mean, they have 5 stunners. If you don't get something done in the first few seconds of the fight, you're not out controlling this lineup. It's impossible.
Yeah. Ace's off-lane Necrophos is still trying to get level 25. It almost has a Shiva's. But frankly, I just, this is twice or maybe the third time now that we've seen this hero just, even as it gets the farm, there are times where in certain matchups it just can't seem to do anything. Anytime these Reaper Scythes are just too difficult to land.
Spirit did a decent job addressing him. You have the box save for the Reaper, and you have a very good matchup in this Lina that's going to always cause Necrophos problems. Very tough hero to gap close, very high move speed hero, very high magic resist hero. You don't have a lot of options here. And as Lina's pushing towards 30, all the talents are pretty nice on this hero. He's going to scale even more. Yatoro's out of control. Like, these two carries are just behemoths. If you bring down one, it feels like the other is going to have so much time to just wreak havoc in the fight.
And you talk about how the burst damage is so important. 3 pendulums on the side of Team Spirit,
nice.
One of which is the Unleashed Pendulum on Tiny.
Oh,
so
he did.
4,700 HP, and 39% of it is delayed over the course of 5 seconds. You're just not going to kill him in that window. Mid-soup, man. Well, that's a lot of damage there. Did he actually pop the Reaper Scythe? He didn't, but now he's been stunned up. He doesn't have to use his BKB. Ace actually holds off on it. Still thinking about that Reaper Scythe, though. Opportunity, Mickey getting caught in the wheel. They don't really have much of a safe box. He's trying to, operate there, but he got his snowball blocked by the Lincolns.
Wait, what bumped Yatoro there? Did he get force-staffed or something?
I didn't see.
Like, the Sven jumped
just gone.
Yeah, the Sven jumped him and he bounced away, but he did not harpoon. That looked really awkward.
Well, they got a number of force staffs, maybe not me, bailed them out.
I instantly clicked on him and his was off cooldown as well, I believe. So, who knows?
Well, the ability to play the map gets worse and worse. The Abyssal Blade was a really big pickup for that. Now you have the Scythe of Ice. The initiation went on to collapse, though.
Yeah, but the
they kind
Lina's
of set up a trap, but the Lina's already hit Nisha. Nisha gets off his BKB late, but he's so low, he has to just play off Face's heals to stay alive. And here comes Yatoro. Boxy, lucky to be alive for now. I can't believe everyone of Liquid is actually able to make it out. It's the one fight where Team Spirit, the last little go of things, weren't 100% sure about things. They didn't give chase.
This Witch Doctor heal is really annoying if you can't burst targets, especially for these tanky boys on the front line. He has the level 20 talent. He's doing a lot of work. You can just infinitely keep this up. Maybe there's some hidden strength in this hero that we're starting to see in this event. Just sitting around these high HP targets with the heal running puts a lot of pressure on you to execute these burst moves successfully.
Yeah, Scythe of Ice for Laurel, and he's getting to the level 28, so soon he's going to get the other round of talents and actually be a lot more dangerous in the right-click department. Yatoro has his 25 with the toss charges, so another thing that can threaten these heroes. Liquid are so dependent on BKBs, but what happens if you get blink tossed, chain tossed into the follow-up stuns of Team Spirit?
Nothing good for you, I can guarantee that.
Yeah, Boxy is going to have to be super clutch. He went BKB specifically so he can pop BKB, blink in, snowball save somebody. But does that even really bail you out? Or are you just setting up for a bigger LSA at the end of it?
You have to connect the Alacrity Sven on one of the Pangor, the Luna, I believe. And the Invoker combo has to come out. Somebody has to get Reapered successfully. There's a lot of things that need to connect here for Liquid, down 30K.
And if they could stall this game a bit, they can get 25s on a couple of their cores, which
they just don't even have that influential 25 talents.
You don't think the Sven one with the Alacrity, right? This combination of things. I feel like that big of a flat damage bonus.
They're I view them as damage upgrades, but it's not going to change the fight setup. And I think that's the biggest issue, is finding the heroes you want to find. Who are you jumping here? There's just no easy targets.
Sure. So in that case, you view like Mirana's 25 a bigger change because it gives you better opportunities to, work around these fights.
Exactly. At least then the setup of the fight changes. It becomes more chaotic. You're landing these random arrows. Maybe you're going to pop someone's A on disc. You create some more opening. You might just hit this Lina. Because there's a lot of defensive capability for Spirit. They have double Lincoln Sphere, Aeon Disc on the Witch Doctor, plus the Switcheroo, the box save out from the Ringmaster that he can throw on anybody, and then you have this tanky 5,000 HP upgraded Pendulum Yatoro Tiny.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. And he's getting an Ag Synth, by the way. What do you think about that over Moonshard?
Oh, why not? He already has Daedalus. He's already swinging for 600 plus.
I kind of get it, but at the same time, like, isn't this last fight likely to be happening in Liquid space?
You got to plant the trees for him, you know?
Okay. Well, Team Spirit are chill. They said, we're going to wait for Roshan here, which is the preferred area for them to take a fight. If Liquid would want to come out and challenge them, I'm sure they would be happy to oblige. Satanic on Mickey, which will help give him a bit more longevity, but again, he's still very dependent, especially against all these stuns on the BKB. Level 25 is finally achieved by Ace, so he's got these spam of death pulses.
Has to be some crazy execution here.
And look at that positioning from Rue.
Oh, he's breaking ankles.
Super nasty, and they're going to bot 2 on top of him. Tofu's playing to set out the Sentry. Meanwhile, the initiation window collapse. Collapse got the bot
Great
save,
box.
though. And now they are likely to be okay. As look at the trees raining in on Mickey. Mickey just can't hit anything, man. He pops a Satanic, and he still dies because there's just nothing to run into. Liquid make an initiation, and they can't get a fast kill. They can't get a Reaper Scythe opportunity, and they can't even keep Mickey alive.
Maybe they get Nisha out. Jim was a little far away.
Oh, pump fake, pump fake. He's like, maybe I Reaper Scythe the Witch Doctor? I mean, there's nothing else that has been given to me. It's funny. Wait, Team Spirit are not.
They're trying to hunt the
Now they're
Invoker.
going to turn back and go for him. Make sure the Invoker doesn't have an opportunity. They do manage to burst him down. Could have been very different if Ace lives long enough to start getting off some of those heals and had that Reaper Scythe to throw on Yutoro, but instead, all 3 cores are able to chase after the Invoker while being a bit low.
Maybe Nisha can make something happen here. No, he's just out. Not going to wait for the next round of spells.
He does not want to risk getting swashbuckled or avalanched just to try and save Tofu's life.
A heads up TP from Yatoro to close the gap at the other side. There's some glimmers of hope in that fight for Liquid, but ultimately, again, the Sven just can't play the long con here. Too much control. The Abyssal goes out on him. The box save goes on the first jump target. And what's he supposed to do?
Yeah, look at the
no
damage that he's
He
done.
can't hit anything.
Kiting around constantly. It almost feels like, I mean, this wouldn't save him. This wouldn't, I don't know, do you get Nullifier? Try and deal with the box? Like, if you get the stun on Collapse and you get the Nullifier, you can chain stuns and actually kill him for once.
I think somebody has to find Ringmaster while you jump. I don't think there's another solution.
Get through this link. Can have a poke damage with Blink Side. Response, nice tornado to try and stop it. Bailout Boxy gets off the BKB, but there's still too many issues. Collapse is going to try and pull him out of position. Blocked by the shards. This stays on top of Boxy. Not dead yet. Jukes the last bit. Collapse does not opt to go for the swashbuckle kill.
Oh, went in.
Doesn't want to risk his own life here. Double Lincolns. Now the box saves. So many opportunities to save. And Mickey again. It's a BKB God Strength, but he can't hit anything. And now the whale got Nisha. That's the death of him. That's going to be another buyback surely forced out of Liquid. And even as you take that fight, you won't have God Strength for it. Or unless they take it right away. Last few remnants of this ability. They blink in, try and chase after him. Spirit wise to it though. They got out right as the buyback was used, right as the Sven was looking for the initiation. Teams here just playing too perfect right now.
Too disciplined, too ready. Anticipating all of the moves here from Liquid. Aeon Disc starting to come out for them, but I think it's too little too late. Just nobody can tank the burst damage on the front line. About to have a level 30 Lina as well. These 2 carries just completely out of control. And you're saying, what can Sven buy in this game to change it? I mean, that's the issue with Sven. He's always struggled in these ultra late games.
Yeah.
His kit just doesn't scale as well. You just compare what Mickey's capable of to this Tiny. It's not a fair matchup, man.
Yeah, and the thought process is like, okay, the other two are going to be, creating enough threats that, maybe he only gets one kill on this Sven, and then he gets kited around. But you have a Necrophos coming in, maybe giving you another kill. The Invoker's going to burst down in third person, and you've got numbers advantage, and you're able to do what you want. But Necrophos is also suffering, and feels like the only core who's actually able to deliver consistent damage, every team fight able to put out a lot, is the Invoker. And it's never enough to get a kill.
Even then, against these two supports that are just saving supports, it's tough.
Yeah.
Like, it's really tough to kill any hero right now.
40,000 net worth lead makes that even more difficult, and Aegis might make that nigh impossible. So Liquid feeling compelled that they have to contest this, or making their way across the map to do so. Nisha is not going to join them, though.
Collapse just sitting on the hill. Reading the move. Looking to break any smokes once again.
Check inside the pit with Sunstrike.
Did hit 25 on the Invoker for the Radio Blast. It's a minor control upgrade here. Arrow will land on the Tiny.
Opportunity. Collapse sitting on the high ground, ready to go with the Rolling Thunder Blink, and he makes the play. Hot hit two immediately. There was an avalanche to be able to chain it.
Great
Wow,
stuff
look
from
at the
Mickey.
Sven stun. It almost killed the Lina there, which would have been a dream. Tiny is getting kited around pretty heavily here. They do have a good death ward being set up, and the stuns onto the Sven. Still, though, Mickey, very different fight. He was able to get an initial kill, and Lina almost actually died to Tofu. Tofu chased after him. After the hits from Mickey, Laurel managed to dodge that. Doesn't die to Tofu, and Tofu will die instead. Collapse. He's the one cleaning house now. Killed the Invoker, kills Tofu, and back to the pit they go.
Great jumps from Liquid. Like, they found the supports. Very hard to bring these guys down through all the defensive items, but that is who you want to isolate first. And they almost got Laurel there. Could have changed a lot. If they can keep Nisha alive and slay Laurel, that fight may go their way in the long run. It's just overwhelming advantage at this point.
Yeah.
And that's the Lina problem. This hero is insanely tanky for a ranged damage dealer this late in the game. Like, he has so much magic resist. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, areas like the Roshan pit, right? It's a central area where he's able to play on a cliff. No other hero is able to play on the cliff like he is.
He's only a flying hero with 80% magic resist. Good luck.
Yeah. You can't reach him as the Sven. He's sitting on top of the Roshan pit walls, and the Invoker is not going to kill him with that much magic resistance. It's going to be Megas. Liquid here for the long haul, though. It may not last. The Team Spirit are not going to give them much right here. They're just going to keep the pressure on. Banner drop. Tier 4s are going to be falling.
More disciplined gameplay. Respecting the throne defense.
There goes the banner. Snowball pickup not needed on Ace. Ace is still difficult to kill at times. The base, not so much. Reaper Scythe up in 5 seconds. Not ready to go. The cast. Beautiful. Bouncing between all three heroes.
Mickey on the back lines. Will be able
trying to do what he can, but it's just the BKB TP out, and now he has to try and go through the front door. And that has been an indomitable force of Team Spirit. Collapse and Yatoro just simply too tanky, too much of a menace to the Sven. And yeah, these casts are just devastating. Rue has been killing it in that department. A buyback from the Sven. Who cares? Yatoro just chain stuns him up again. They finally drop the Reaper Sight. It's still not enough to get the kill, and he had the extra life of the Aegis. So even as they do kill him, it took everything they have to kill this tanky Tiny. Now he's going to come back in his second life and get both of them inside that avalanche. A celebratory toss up in the air as Team Spirits will claim victory in Game 1.
Creeps will finish the job while they're farming some heroes. Adding to the stat pool here as a very convincing win for Spirit in Game 1. I mean, what point in that game, looking back, did Liquid have momentum? It's pretty hard to pinpoint any minute.
No, they had stall. They had keeping Team Spirit's momentum at a bay for the first 20, 25 minutes.
There were definitely some neutral points.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was ever, oh, this is starting to go Liquid's way. Like, it just never felt like that. And I think that's a testament to how well Spirit can read the map, set the lanes up, bait people. Like that one go bottom, that was a bait. Now you're worried about where that is. The Tiny got involved in this game super early. To me, this Tiny has to go up in priority in game 2. It's a hero that is going to be really important for Liquid in this matchup, especially with what they've shown has worked for them in this event so far. You don't want to end up in a situation where they have the Tiny, you have the Sven. To me, that is one of the bigger trades that define this game.
I feel like Ace's hero pool is kind of a problem right now. I feel like Liquid, from the offlane perspective, right, they picked up their Centaur in the previous series with the hard play and didn't actually win them the game, right? I think the Necrophos has kind of looked, bit sus. They lost different games where it's just not really been able to accomplish much, despite having the items to do so.
I agree.
The draft composition has made it very difficult for the hero to be able to play it.
I think the Witch Doctor pick scared them off of a lot of the traditional ace heroes they wanted to pick there, and they went for something cheeky. And I think from a theory standpoint, it seems good. Like, it is a hero that can play into the Doctor a lot better. You have some sustain. The lane should go better. They just got a little out-executed. It fell behind. And then the Necro doesn't really play well with the other 2 cores, I think. I think that's what really hurts you here. Like, it doesn't have a direct purpose in this game, especially against Ringmaster. There's nothing else that really forces the box in this game other than a Sven jump. And even in that situation, you're kind of happy to throw it out. Like, okay, are you going to commit all of your Sven and your Reaper on one dude? Well, we have multiple carries in this lineup. So, cool draft from Spirit. 17-1 and 18 on that Lina.
Ooh, Laurel, I mean, he cooked this game for sure.
Absolutely cooked it.
Yatoro also wins 17-1 and 14 behind his compatriot by 4 assists. Both of them did a wonderful job, but I mean, Team Spirit as a whole, the supports were cooking in so many of those team fights. You talked about the fast decision making. Collapse was just a constant nuisance to Mickey most of the game, but it was able to hunt down Nisha a couple of times. A very definitive victory for Team Spirit in game 1.
Thank you very much, Cap and SVG. And we're here to break that game down. There's a lot to break down with this game because it didn't really play out the way we thought after we saw the draft play out. We had some questions about how the Lina was going to get into the game, and I feel like those questions were answered, Lacoste, pretty rapidly with some rotations from Laurel.
Yeah, I think we had some doubts about Lina 2 times in a row now, even though her win rate, this was probably the first Lina that we saw at the start of the group stage, and we had the doubts, thinking, maybe this is not a good overall pick, but after seeing it now multiple times, the hero seems to be kind of owning because of how tanky she gets, how much damage she can deal with the rotation that she's making, and I feel like we talked about a lot about this Mirana position 5/4, and maybe are we going to get on the hype train? Lina is the one that we should be getting the hype train on, because she seems to be the hero that doesn't seem to be losing any laning stages, and also transitioning really, really well into the mid and late game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm quite surprised also with this Lina. I think it's maybe my read on the hero is outdated in some capacity, because it is deceptively tanky. It's pretty crazy. Sometimes you see the Lina, you're like, oh, he's too close, he's getting jumped, and you're like, wait, who's jumping who actually? He doesn't care at all. So, a very interesting hero. I have to agree with this one. Obviously, stellar performance by both. They have the exact same score almost. It's pretty funny. But Yatoro and Lar, they played. I mean, all of Spirit. Honestly, they all played an incredible game. So did Liquid, to a certain extent. I don't think it was as well executed and as clean, but it was a very good game of Dota from both teams. Honestly, very S tier game from both teams. But Spirit were just one step ahead.
Yeah, they were the better team in this game 1. That much is for sure. I have another hero that I feel like I might have an outdated look upon. We saw yesterday mid 1 on the mid lane with the Pango. Today, Collapse with the Pango. I feel like he's on fire, the hero and the player, obviously, today as well.
Love the build too, right? This Abyssal, I think, you can see how much priority he puts in winning the fight. He is very obsessed with that, and he's just jumping Abyssal. Because I saw the Basher, I'm like, wait, he does Axe Basher? He's so big, and then no, not at all. He actually skipped the Agan Scepter for the longest time, which is very uncommon.
Yeah, I really love the build because he did go for Diffusal, your Blink, your Shard, of course, but also picked up the Linked Sphere. Understanding that against the Reaper side, for example, if Ringmaster is not in position, it could be a very good tool. And it's also the defensive tool against Sven's jump. So he's never going to get initiated on because Sven doesn't really build into items to remove it. Sure, you can use your upgraded Echo Saber, use your Harpoon, but this is not something that you want to be doing because a lot of the times you need to reset. And we also saw Lina picking up the same item, understanding that, this is going to be the defensive tool that we kind of need. And I mean, if we really go back, like this was also Team Spirit, against LGD at the time. They were obsessed with Lincoln Sears. They are playing Magnus, and the True side, they're talking about, they need 3, they need 4 Lincoln Sears in some of these situations. And, they've been very familiar with these type of situations, and the same thing does apply to potentially this one as well.
Yeah, and I think both teams, Team Liquid and Spirit here, when they go up against each other, you have to pay attention to these team fights because they will be deciding who comes out on top. So we got the best in the case. Seb, the team fights, some of them, you're going to break them down.
Yeah, I want to start breaking down a little bit of the fights and really show you what makes these teams like best in the world, really, like that upper class of Dota teams. It comes to patience, it comes to discipline, it comes to what's called in Dota what they refer to as formation meaning that heroes are well positioned in order to impact the fight as they are supposed to, and they never break that formation under no circumstances. So one thing to notice, actually pretty funny before we get into the clip, actually, is that both teams are smoking at the same time very often in this game, which really tells the story of like they read the game the same way. They both understand when it is time to group up and take the fight. So you're going to end up having these big, 5-on-5 clashes, which essentially decided this game. So we can see here Liquid getting, the first point of contact as Invoker was Invis. And I'm going to pause here to just have you focus on really the position of the supports if I go in slow-mo. So Spirit, they don't freak out. They stay pretty calm. Obviously Tiny's getting jumped, and the Ringmaster here has blinked in to use his save ability. But take a look at Larn and his position, how patient he is with how the fight is going to develop. He doesn't rush into the fights, he just waits to see it develop. I mean, Yatoro's getting jumped. You could start freaking out. This is a very crucial moment of the game. And they're going to wait for the first round of spell to be exchanged. And as soon as now we have Invoker entering the fight, which is going to make the Lina feel safer, Tiny has used his spells, Sven has jumped, Invoker has jumped, so Lina is very safe to enter the fight at her turn. And we're going to see then Lard enter. And it's basically a dance of in and out. Yatoro, all his spells are on cooldown. Lal knows that he's pretty safe. He has now taken the front line. Yatoro is backing off, waiting for his spells to reset. It's just so well executed. It's not rushed. It's very patient. This means that Tiny's gonna get another round of spells. Blink, avalanche toss. Lina has taken the second round of the team fight, and all of a sudden, it ends up being a team wipe. And it all comes down to, yes, the fight has started. Yes, it's a very stressful moment, but they keep their cool. They know exactly how they have to impact it, and it ends up being very stellar. We're going to look at a second sequence, which is pretty much the same. Everybody's smoked. And to me, it tells the story of why Spirit has been one step ahead. They always get the fight on their terms. They get the proper jumps every time. We see here a perfect jump by Yatoro, follow up by the Ringmaster, and this fight ends up, it's going to be turned, funny enough, and I want you to look at the Sven cleave, how funny it is, because look at where, like, the Witch Doctor is actually pretty well positioned, in my opinion. So is Ringmaster and Lina. They're pretty far from the Sven, but somehow, I'm going to play this in slow-mo for you guys, because everybody's just dying to the Sven cleave. So, to me, this is like a case of, again, Spirit being one step ahead of Liquid in teamfight execution. And, you have clutch moments. Mickey getting a couple lucky crits, very good angle on the Sven attacks, and all of a sudden, it's a close team fight, but essentially it wasn't very close. I think all the team fights were dominated by Spirit in how they decide to take them and how they execute it, like where and how they take it.
And then it's just game over. And when looking at these clips, Spirit, they're doing it a little cleaner. They're doing a little better, more controlled.
Yeah, absolutely. There is, I'd say, the bit of a spellcasting difference in this one coming out from the supports, the positioning that you did mention, and also, like, itemization-wise, I think it's easier for Ringmaster to itemize in this game and also keep the distance compared to Tusk, who needs to get in, and a lot of the times when he goes in, he's kind of dead afterwards. Also, this Necro pick on 18, I feel like maybe this could have been something different in this game.
Yeah, we're going to have to find out what will be different in our upcoming game. Game number 2, of course, is very close, but at the meantime, Dota's going on here, but there's a lot of other games going on as well, and we are actually going to check in with Milos, who's with Cheryl at the MLBB stage.
It is time for our check-in, and I'm happy here to come all the way over to the Allianz Vault to check in with our good friends at MLBB here with Cheryl. Please let me know what's been going on here, because last year I was an avid enjoyer of MWI, and seeing Vitality take the win, they were still in the top 3 club championship. It was a really cool run to see. What's been happening so far in day 2?
So far, our title defenders are back, and the pressure on their shoulders is heavier than ever before. Why? Because we are week here in Paris, and because of that, this is the home ground of Team Vitality. So they're gonna fight tooth and nail and give whatever they have to secure, this win, and of course, adding points to their club championship.
It adds the pressure that on the opening day also, you had the actual CEO of the whole company that's going around. This is, of course, the home, like you said, of the Buzz and Bees. They have their own HQ and public space. So for those that are coming to Paris, you can go and enjoy games.
Yes, the Beehive.
It's a cool experience. I think everybody that loves esports and wants to also experience Paris within that context should try it out. But that's the winners of last year, right?
Yes.
Are there any new hopefuls going into MWI this year?
For sure. There are so many people who are gunning for that spot for the longest time ever, and Team Vitality has held on to the throne, and that's why they are known as the Queen Bees, rightfully so, because of the Team Vitality branding. But other than that, we have seen new regions rise, and earlier on, China has actually showed a fair sharing in day 1, and Malaysia as well has had a really, really good one, very convincing win. And these are emerging regions, dark horses, I'd say. But of course, the staples that we have seen, Indonesia, Philippines, these are powerhouses in their own rights. But we're incredibly happy to see that the overall gameplay right here has improved leaps and bounds. And of course, this is probably the only female tournament happening here at EWC. So we're so very happy to be giving all of our queens here a platform to showcase their talent.
I think it's incredibly important. I've gotten to experience that over multiple games, and the way it's done here in MWI is super sick because you got teams from all over that are challenging one another.
You have 16 teams duking it out over at the Land of Dawn, and it's just so exciting. It's just day 1, and we've seen so many high-octane clashes happening at the Land of Dawn.
I'm very sure there are no regional biases that have been developing in the talent team. I know they're all very lovely and not trying to poke at one another through it.
That you have to see behind the scenes.
That's something for the other side of the reporting, I guess, to tell. Thank you very much, Cheryl.
Thank you so much
Congratulations
for having me.
on making it here and being with us. But we're going to send it back to Shiver and the gang on the panel. Let's get their check-in done.
Thank you very much, Milos and Cheryl, for that insight. And MLBB, of course, they'll finish their tournament coming Saturday. Will be very exciting to see how that all develops. We're going to move forward here with the Dota 2, and we are going to actually hear some words from Collapse about how he felt coming into today.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
We were there for every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind, and we're here now, the proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming, shoulder to shoulder with the world's best, making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion, reach your impossible.
Hello, I'm here with Collapse from Team Spirit. Collapse, when we talked last time, you said you felt some kind of magical buff when you play EWC. Are you feeling that right now?
No, I'm sick.
What? Why not? What's different?
I mean, right now, like past few days, I was sick, and now I am feeling better.
Okay.
But I don't feel the smell.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's a bad day for that to not come. Okay. Your opponents are Liquid, really solid team. They had a great series yesterday. What's your confidence against Liquid right now?
Don't know. I'm not scared. I don't feel anything. I'm just like, I just want to play. We were having like few day offs, and I'm just a bit hungry already.
Okay. What's it like waiting a couple days to play matches?
It's boring. You need to play pubs, scrims. But you're on a tournament. You want to play like official games. You want to play on the arena.
Yeah, you're hungry.
Yeah. Just boring.
Okay, so you're going to lane against Tofu here. He's been playing a lot of Witch Doctor. What do you do against Maledict as an offlaner? That spell is really annoying, right?
Buy as much as possible Fairy Fires. Like, click them, like, at the second he casts a new Maledict, you just click the first Fairy Fire, and then second one, buy off cooldown.
So every time he Maledicts you, you lose like 120 gold?
Yeah, why not? He's not getting killed.
Okay, all right. And then you just go from there, I guess, and kill him later when he's a Witch Doctor?
Yeah, I hope I will play some, like, semi-jungler hero, so I can, like, leave the lane. Why do I need to lane, bro?
Okay, you can jungle. What if they block your camps and zone you from lane?
I can farm their jungle.
Okay, there's always more camps. All right, that makes sense. You got all the plans ready to go. Yeah. The magic is coming back. I can feel it. Thank you for joining me, Collapse. Good luck in your match.
Thank you.
I think that magic that Collapse was talking about already came back to him during that game one. He was on fire. So was his team. The hunger was felt by Liquid on the receiving end here. Elimination on the line. We're going into game two of this best of three. Yesterday, we saw when Liquid was down a game, what happened. And I'm hoping for them that they can make the same result happen. I'm hoping for us as a viewer pleasure that also the same result will happen, because that was quite cool. And these two teams can go for best of seven if I had a choice. But we'll see. Liquid in that first game, Seb, it gave me a little bit doubts.
Yeah, I think the draft maybe didn't really play out the way they wanted it, because they picked this Necro and it started off pretty well. I mean, honestly, I think he did get first blood, and it looked like they were going to dominate this lane. I think there was like a big mistake from Ace that game where he just died on level 3, and all of a sudden, I mean, if you pick for lanes, you have to execute it properly, because you pick Necro, and obviously you can see a lot of team fights. You don't have stuns. You know, on one side there's like a Pangolier with a blink, and on the other side there's Necro with Radiance. So obviously team fights are going to be a little bit harder, especially in the mid game. I mean, I think Spirit, they really abused it, and as we've seen from that team in the past and today, they excel at executing team fights. It's one of their strengths, and it's also why they're so confident going into the late game. They know that their core players and supports, for that matter, but they'll buy the right items, they will click their spells to perfection, and you just on par or you don't stand a chance. So I think it came down to laning maybe for Liquid, where it didn't go as it should have, and then of course their lineup does not allow them to fight as well as Spirit.
Do you think they also got a little bit scared of the Witch Doctor and decided to go for ranged offlaner instead?
It's possible. I mean, at the end of the day, they are the Witch Doctor team. Yeah. I think they were the one bringing it to the meta and spamming it, if anything. So maybe it got to their heads. That's like a classic thing also in Dota, where you're on a team, and one of your teammates, let's say, he excels at a hero. You kind of have to reach the conclusion, because that person could be like, this hero is too strong. Like the Witch Doctor player could be in that case. Not like, well, guys, Witch Doctor is a problem. Like, you can't lane, because that's how he genuinely feels when he plays Witch Doctor against their offlaner. He's like, I'm going to own him on the lane. He cannot lane. But you also have to come to the conclusion that we own with Witch Doctor, and we can own Witch Doctor. Like, we can handle it. So it's it takes like a team conversation where, you know, you have to tell him, hey, I'll be fine against it. Like, don't worry about it. We can give it. We should take it, but we can also play against it.
Yeah, teams talked about potentially, you know, getting to jungle straight away, almost, you know, getting to that minute one and then transitioning into jungle. Collapse also talked about it, the Witch Doctor with the Fairy Fire counters, but it's a little of an underrated strat, I would say, especially because you are dropping those neutral items relatively early on. Even if you get them early on, this could also sway like the matchup in your favor. Let's say you get regeneration item, you get regen enchantment. You don't care too much about harassment anymore.
And you know, one cool thing to do in Dota when you're not sure of the value, because Dota is a game of like how to use your time, right? Like, do you rather farm the wave, stack a camp, you know, pick up a bounty rune? And at the end of the day, you know, there's a famous quote going on right now where Dota is just about spells and numbers. Well, I mean, it is. I don't know how true that statement is, but it is a little bit about numbers anyway. And in that sense, you can always transfer what you are doing or what you're buying in gold, and it will give you like a good idea. So, for instance, the neutral enchantment that gives you 2.25 HP regen, you just do the math on how much gold would it cost you to get 2.25 HP regen, and it will cost you around 300 gold. So, and how many camps is that worth? And it's going to help you understand what you should be doing, basically, and how to use your time and position on the map.
Yeah, and speaking of numbers, Ember Spirit is one of the most picked heroes here at this EWC. It's Liquid that picks it up after an opening from Clockwork, a hero that was mostly ignored in the previous game. We have, of course, changed sides for the team, and the pick order changed with them. So it was Spirit with first pick, and it will be Liquid with that overall last pick. They ban out the Huskar already to make sure that Ember Spirit will have a good game here.
And the reason why the opener is that much different is also because Liquid came to with a plan, and they kind of forced Spirit to address it, which means that Spirit, they thought, okay, it is more important to pick the Pangolier right now because we might not get it after, rather than the Clockwork or other heroes for that matter, which explained why they went out of their script. Now. Yeah. They seem to be prioritizing Clockwork as a hero. Nothing surprising. Ember Spirit for Nisha.
It's looked good every single game.
Every single game.
Absolutely. Like, this hero is just popping off. Like, even in the losing matchups, they're still going to respect the Huskar, of course, but there are a lot of matchups. Like, we've seen this matchup against Lina as well. You're not going to be winning it. But it seems like Ember Spirits, they didn't care too much about the lane. They more think about, the game, because this hero isn't really a lane dominator, especially if picked early on. So many heroes does counter him in the lane, where we saw a good amount of Snapfires, we saw a good amount of Necrophos as well, making sure that he's not having that good of a time, not being oppressive, but also a hero that can find farm pretty much anywhere. We saw it multiple times, dragging the creep wave from the mid lane into the enemy jungle, into triangle, farming the big camp on top of that, kind of even getting more farm than the enemy mid laner at the time.
Yeah, it's a very strong hero, honestly. It's been owning this tournament. It's hard to stop, as you mentioned. So we'll have to see. If this hero might end up being in first place banned against certain teams. Like, typically, these are games or series that can change the meta and how much respect is put also by other teams not participating in this game on Ember Spirit. Because if Nisha can prove that, hey, you can just blindly pick Ember and you'll be fine, well, that's very interesting.
It's an early tide.
Very early.
Yeah, this is I'm quite confused by this, if I'm honest. Like, I don't quite understand why they would pick the Tide, which again is a hero that can get punished on lane.
Witch Doctor, one of the best counters. Yeah. I mean, we saw a good amount of disruptors as well coming out. I feel like maybe in this one it could be also.
But like, why are you not addressing the Ember? Because you kind of had a free core pick in a sense. You see the mid matchup, so maybe if they want like a hero mid that could get countered, like it's a niche pick that Lard is going to want to play versus Ember, and he doesn't want to reveal it yet. Else, I don't really see why expose the Tide, where you could just have picks like a good matchup for the mid lane. We'll get the answers, obviously, to all these questions with the following picks, but it's very curious. So I'm sure Liquid is scratching their heads. There we see the Witch Doctor, as you called, very good hero against Tide, in the lane and in the game, for that matter.
Yeah, throughout the whole game, and it's also like it allows you to pick different heroes. We are seeing some of like different pairings with Spectre. We saw like I think one Warlock pairing as well with Ursa, I think as well, and some of these carries that are weaker in the lane now that Witch Doctor is more like popular.
Yeah,
I think this hero feels very, very good. It's not like the great for the game. It's not countering anything, but we've seen decent amount of Spectre to see how good of a hero she actually is.
I think it's always good, honestly. I feel like Spectre's never bad. Like, it gives you so much teamfight presence. We saw the importance of teamfights in game one. Like, Haunt is it's the best teamfighting spell ever from a carry. Like, you see the position of 5 enemy heroes, it becomes so easy to click your spells, to either back off or engage. You get all the info you need. And I have to say, like, this is a lane that Liquid has shown a couple times now, the Spectre Witch Doctor. I think it's amazing. Offensively and defensively, like, the heal allows Spectre to stay on the lane and sustain, and eventually, Spectre's very weak first levels, and it gets better over time, which Doctor allows that. And offensively, because the chase potential of Spectre, and it's like you get mad addicted, you have to run, but there's no such thing as running away from a Spectre. You run away, you get isolated, now the Desolate damage kicks in, it becomes very scary. And okay, this explains it a little bit more. Like, now I understand why they didn't pick large hero. They go for the Monkey versus Ember. It's a great matchup for Monkey, but Monkey is a hero it's not so much meta because it has hard counters in the game. It can be hard to get a Monkey through the game. So they just wanted to see more heroes before they selected the Monkey King.
Isn't Spectre considered to be decent against Monkey because you can just find him?
It's okay. I wouldn't say it's great. At some point, the interactions with these heroes, I think, is Monkey favored. Like, you just go on a guy, click Wukong, and Spectre doesn't really want to fight in that area. So you don't really mind Spectre jumping.
If this is going to be Monkey mid, it's a good lifestealer game for Team Spirit. If they want to repeat another hero, but if they are going with the team where Yatoro can play the same hero twice, they are going to need to find something else.
They're going to run out of heroes, right? If it's already
eventually
15 or 16 heroes.
Not if you keep 2-0ing. Like, your hero pool is going to be bigger.
Okay, that works. Lard Monkey, I think, very good hero. Like, very, comfortable on the hero. Expect him to dominate the lane. Classic wisdom play. I think, Monkey is not so much in meta right now, but it was the case a few months ago. We usually see these monkeys, mischief their way to the wisdom rune. If they're level 6, click Wukong on top of the rune, and it becomes really hard to contest it. So that is something that Liquid will have to factor in, especially if Ember has slightly lost his lane, which he should in this matchup. Like, how do you secure yourself a wisdom rune? You have to kind of invade theirs if possible, but you have a Spectre Witch Doctor lane. That's not typically a lane that goes overly aggressive. So a little bit tricky to play the early game for Team Liquid this time around.
I'm just thinking, do they want to have something like Enigma potentially from the offlane for Team Liquid? If they're thinking about that potential lifestealer that could come out, it's very good to counter initiate onto Tidehunter as well. They have one BKB piercing ability, thinking about maybe slightly later how the team fights are going to be played out.
They have the ultimate last pick.
Why is Centaur no longer an option? Did I miss that?
For Liquid?
Yeah.
I mean, it's solid, but it's like you want to... The way game 1 went, it was very much about team fight. Right now, they have the vision advantage from the clockwork. They have this overwhelming amount of AoE and control, like Wukong, Ravage, Willow spells. Liquid, it's more skirmishy. It's like, play off Ember trading situations. Spectre Hunt eventually, click your spells and support. Maybe you want to match a little bit of that teamfight presence for Spirit or maybe the mid game will just be too difficult to play. And I don't know if Centaur really does that, to be fair.
Fair enough. We're going to find out what Team Spirit wants to select first. So far, it seems Team Liquid is expecting that Monkey to go mid. And we'll see which one Yatoro still gets to play. And will it be another different hero?
And you see with Spirit's drafting, like how obsessed they are, and even how they itemize with team fights. Like one of the few fight conditions you have against Tide is Doom, because you doom the Tide and it ignores Tide's passive, and all of a sudden, nobody can frontline on Spirit. They ban that hero. So yeah, it's tricky. We get the Yatoro morphling. It's a very slow
draft. It's like you have Tidehunter plus Morphling. At least you have a very active mid laner, so he can fix some of these issues, bring the heat to the other lanes. Support duo is also very active. These are type of heroes that want to be fighting early on. But we haven't seen too much of Morphling. He played it once. We also saw, I think Ame was the one who played it. It also didn't end well for him. Yatoro did win on his Morphling. I believe he also got Rampage in that game that he played it.
Well, he sees Spectre at least, so that's one of the upsides where he knows the game is not going to be incredibly fast either way. And they go for Beastmaster. That's okay. So they now take that's a great lane, by the way. Like Beast versus Clock Morphling, it should be very smooth sailing for Ace, especially with the help of Hoodwink. So massive, advantage I think on Liquid for that lane. This Beastmaster could just snowball the game completely out of control. If he has a great lane, gets an early Helm of the Overlord. With how active and strong Nisha is on Ember, aggressive, and the Spectre Haunt, this Beast could just take over the game. Just snowball the game, basically. Take areas, get objectives, get throwers, take towers, and as Lacoste said, Liquid Spirit's lineup, it's kind of slow with the Tide and the Morphling, so that's their angle. If somehow Spirit is allowed to stabilize the game,
Yeah.
this is where it gets tricky.
If Monkey makes all the right rotations, if he doesn't get shut down, like this type of a lineup, if you're like even 1-2k goal down 15 minutes into the game, it can still play really well. But Liquid, they're trying to push the tempo. I like this Beastmaster pick a lot. I think it can take over the game easily, as you mentioned, but we'll have to see. Also, Nisha on Ember, every single time we saw him play, he looked unstoppable.
Yeah, and if they can get away with picking first phase Ember and coming out on top, that also is a big mark for games going forward. Gives them a little bit of a draft advantage there potentially in the future, of course. This is a series for elimination. We got on one side the defending champions, Team Spirit. They are 1 game up, so they only need 1 more win to be able to punch their ticket to the playoffs. Can Team Liquid force out that game 3 and taking them the distance and still have that chance to make it further themselves, or will... We're finding out with Cap at SPG.
You know, it's always a pleasure to be able to cast Team Liquid and Team Spirit matched up against each other, but Avery here was particularly excited. In fact, he basically jumped out of his seat, if you could believe it. I felt like I was casting with Nahaz because he had a very interesting stat to be able to put forward.
That's right.
Lenovo
on my
Legion
new
laptop.
Lenovo Legion laptop, I was able to look up some stats. Austin, do you know what Yatoro's most played hero of all time is?
I'm going to guess it's Morphling.
Look it up, Austin.
Oh my god, it's Morphling.
It is Morphling. He is going back for the Siggy. He's bringing it out in his time of need. And he's bringing out the water hero against the water organization.
You're really on this, aren't you?
Perhaps a symbolic gesture, Austin.
Well, it did not work for Ame and his blue hair, but maybe it's more about the elements than the color. But it's also not a water hero anymore.
That's
it's
true.
a robot.
He went for the automaton skin. What does this signify? He did not play with it yesterday. And yet today he decided to equip it. So perhaps Yatoro is getting into the spirit of the Dark Carnival. As we all enjoy the nice, beautiful season of Dota 2.
That is true. We also have another Siggy. Nisha also rocking his most played hero. 134 matches of Morphling for Yatoro. 116 matches of Ember Spirit for Nisha.
A lot of experience on these two boys. And try and all in the Tide Hunter. Bring that watermelon down with the Maledict. He has to recommit and pays the price for that rune attempt. First blood to the Witch Doctor.
That's the power of the Maledict right there. How much a First Blood does for the Witch Doctor, though, I'm not convinced that is much of a game changer.
The experience probably more valuable than anything. If you get to level 2 and 3 faster on this hero, you can sometimes just all in people again with the Maledict. So could be a scary lane for Collapse over the long run. This Spectre can be an annoying hero with the Desolate going through. If you're going to isolate the Tide, just burn him out with the Maledict. A lot of potential burst damage as they're going to try and all in Tofu. He just gives it right back.
Okay. Collapse striking right back. I don't. I feel like this is. Okay, Spectre is better at being aggressive in lane than she's ever been.
Yes.
But this is actually a combination that they're going to be able to really threaten the Tide Hunter. Just the two of them with Maledict.
I think it's enough. With Maledict, Dagger, Shadow Step, some Desolate hits going in, it's a lot of damage if you can start to run someone down. So I have some faith. See how well this Morphling lane goes for Yatoro as well. Seb said this is a free lane for the Beast. I can absolutely see Ace free farming up here. Not a lot of pressure going into him with this duo up here.
Yeah.
Very passive lane for Spirit. You're just trying to secure farm for the Morphling, not get aggressed on too much. If you can get some pulls off, that would be amazing, but all the potential, it lies with Liquid in that top lane. So I could see them doing pretty well on both side lanes here. Mid might be the big problem area. But that is always going to be the case when you first pick Ember. You are giving your opponents the entire hero pool with a bunch of cheese counters in it to deal with this hero. They go for the Monkey King. Not the hardest cheeser here, right? It's not the Huskar. It's not a Viper. It's not a Sniper or something. But it's a very favorable lane. It can get a little out of control if you can get some big Jingu hits up. And it's a very easy lane to rotate into and fight with. That's the real threat of the Monkey in this matchup. It's like, if you bring supports here, you start crashing this lane, Liquid gets sucked into that skirmish, and he's just building Jingu stacks off the Ember. It can turn 1 kill into 2, into 3. Suddenly you TP back in, you die a 4th time. it gets out of control really fast, and Monkey can take that and start winning other lanes with it. So you got to be really careful around the mid lane in this game if you're Liquid, and potentially play reactionary. Try and bait some dives from the Monkey, TP Boxy in, land a clutch push whack, get that turnaround kill. That can make all the difference here in this early game.
Laurel is very good on the Monkey King. 77% win rate. Do you think of Laurel as an oppressive mid laner? I don't really. No. Mostly because he's not a Huskar player, right?
He's a very difficult player to beat in lane, and he's a very difficult player to shut out of the game completely. Like, he will always find his entryways. He will always find impact in the team fights. And he's not given a lot of farm priority from Spirit overall. So that is his strength.
Maybe that's where it is, because I was looking at it. His best stats are, his highest win rate heroes are Monkey King and Snapfire, who I would say those two are very oppressive mid laners, right? Usually counter pick matchup, or at least Monkey King often a counter pick matchup. So maybe that's probably what it is, right? If Spirit don't give him that much support, then when he is in a position to really win his lane, he really thrives.
Also, if you're not going to get the support, then being in a position where you can kind of fend for yourself, and not have to be like, oh, I lost the lane, I need stacks, and there are no stacks, well, then you're just screwed. Probably works out a little better for him. So I think this is the type of hero that can work really well. I think Puck is also kind of in that category. Like, pretty hard to destroy the Puck on lane, even if he's not demolishing you. But Laurel off to a very good start here early. 20 and 15 for that Monkey King with the clown nose on top of it.
Yeah, he is killing it. And by it, I mean denying creeps, apparently.
This will create a large opening in that mid lane. I don't know if Spirit have the best supports to go there and snowball it. Especially if you leave this Morphling alone, he could just get pressured out of the lane. Same with the Tidehunter against the Maledict. So you have to be a little careful with how many resources you try and pull into mid here. But there's definitely an advantage being opened up by Laurel that you would like to exploit in almost any situation.
I guess that it's one of the downsides of this hero winning its lane. It doesn't have an ultimate that's like super impactful right away, right?
No. But you can take that point in Tree Dance and just leap in, start running people down.
And true.
All about the early items here.
That is what we've seen many Monkey Kings do. In fact, the early meta of Wisdom Shrines, when Monkey King was being played a lot, was all these Monkey Kings would always go to the enemy Wisdom Shrine, set up with an ultimate, and be like, okay, you have to fight into this.
It's the classic maneuver to try and get value out of that ult early. You could see it here. You will be very strong on the map in order to make that move. You're going into a lane that maybe is a little annoying for him to fight if the boars are already set up there, but that kind of requires the bees to read this bee position for it. I think you could make it. I think you could make it.
Tofu going to get low in the bottom lane. Step forward, trying to shut out Collapse. Let's manage to get a two-man Maledict here. Mickey will try and play off that one with the Shadow Step. And the dagger does finish him off. So perfectly fine trade-off. Collapse is still going to be happy getting experience out of a rough lane. But not happy about dying, no doubt.
You're happy getting Spectre extra kills, that's for sure. You also get the earn charges on Mickey. The other game we saw him play the Spectre, he went the early earn, and he just never got charges for so long. So that's a big deal here, especially as you push towards the level 6. Haunt plus the Earn plus the Dagger is almost a guaranteed kill on the map. His level extra threat in the tank. See if he ever upgrades it here, if he just leaves it casual.
Trying to sneak a kill on Yatoro. Caught him on the bushwhack. Follow-up Maledict. Not likely to be enough damage.
No.
But a bit of harassment.
Pretty rough matchup for the Witch Doctor overall. Just not a spell that does a lot against him.
Does kind of kick him out of lane, at least for a bit.
Radiant are scanning.
Can we talk about drafts? Game 1 to game 2, right? Whenever you lose this game 1, you're going to make some sort of adjustments in the draft. What do you feel like the biggest adjustments Liquid made?
They went back for a hero that has given them a lot of mid-game control in this Ember and a lot of backline jump. And they went for a hero that probably scales more reliably for mid-game.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to see the Spectre run into the same issues to spend it. Like, as a hero, you can always have guaranteed impact in the team fight. It's also a hero that can kind of just break formations very easily. They have a lot more formation break with the Ember and the Spectre, which I think is an interesting concept against Spirit, who in that game one were very good at putting the frontliners on the front line and making you deal with them. Here you can kind of just bypass that.
There it is. He held onto level. Now he's going to pop the Wukong's command underneath the Wisdom Shrine. Team Spirit, I mean, Liquid might still all in for him, even if it costs Tofu his life.
Gets one.
If they get the Monkey King for it, might be worth. Now, Yatoro comes in through the back and does get the other support, but ultimately the Wisdom Shrine is defended. Who do you like that more for? 2 supports for a mid Monkey King.
You take that if you're Liquid. Monkey's supposed to be the strongest hero in the early game. You take him off the map, you get a shrine, you get a lot of XP for that kill. It's really nice for the Ember, who is a little bit behind. Those situations can go a lot worse for you if he has backup. He just had no backup.
Plenty heals available here, and in fact, they're going to go after this Dark Willow. Bushwhack doesn't land, so a TP out. And now it's 3 heroes trying to hit a Tidehunter without Maledict. That's just not really going to work for them. Ace on the other side. The Monkey King bounced right back. After that death, he still wants to play here and TP away from Ace. Nicely done.
So those are 2 moves for Laurel that have not been successful for him, despite opening up that mid lane advantage. A little sad in terms of him trying to build early game momentum here and break the game open.
Especially if you're giving power runes to an Ember Spirit.
Oh, he got a good one too. I'd say this Ember maybe even stronger on the map right now with the haste rune in the bottle. Does get a little bit of his mana burn though. Might have to pop it, yeah.
Maybe go after Collapse. They did manage to get the Maledict on him. Nisha can provide enough magic damage. The Maledict will be a threat and eventually take him out. So Collapse, who was trying to get a recovery off of clearing through a medium stack, and just ends up dying. He is getting no love in this game, that is for sure.
His net worth is still okay, but he is getting punished kill-wise off the Witch Doctor counter. Witch Doctor doing work in this series, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been a while since Witch Doctor was this good.
They're going to smoke both supports up top, trying to alleviate this beast lane pressure going into the Morph lane would be a huge kill to snag.
You're not going to be able to roar your way out of this one, AC. Pulled it off last time in the 1v2 and a 1v4 with the roar on cooldown for a few more seconds. There is no chance of him surviving.
This is kind of an old school concept where if you have a carry that can't deal with the beast on his own, you just continually smoke and gank this beast over and over and over. So you can never just run at your carry, kick him off lane, and start pressuring his tower. And if you can gank this beast 2 to 3 times, you slow down his entire game. He's not pressuring your towers. You buy a huge amount of space for that hard. I don't mind the heavy committal into this type of hero.
Do you think that went away a little bit? Oh, he actually got the Bramble on him. Trying to hit him with the cogs, no luck. Do you think that some of that went away because Beastmaster ended up spending more and more time in jungle and less time in lane?
Yes, 100%. We can blame 33 for that.
I feel like with many things in Dota, you could probably blame 33 with that, with all the ways that he's led Dota. Arcane Rune pickup for Nisha continues to get some very powerful power runes.
He's honestly doing okay here. Like 1-0-4. Hasn't bled that, bad kill against the Monkey or anything. Laurel didn't find a lot off those moves, so it's not as if he's completely out of control here. And you're getting power runes, so you're maintaining your resources on the map. It's honestly a pretty good outcome for Liquid in this matchup. You first pick Ember. I think if you ask a lot of players, I'm going to first pick Ember, and you're going to be in this position at the end of the lane phase, they're fine with that. That's above the 50% in terms of the outcomes. So he's chilling. Can go into the fast vessel here. You will stack the urns, but that's okay. It's just kind of a cheap mana regen item for the Spectre anyway, as you push towards that Radiance. And you have some good matchups here if you're Mickey to scale into. Like, I like the Spectre against the Morphling here. It's really annoying for Yatoro, especially if he waveforms in and then you get haunted on. You're just kind of a sitting duck.
How do you build up the Spectre? Like, you still get Radiance for the farm and stuff, but those second, third, fourth items.
It's almost always Radiance Manta.
Here comes the Ember Spirit. And you already used the waveform on Yatoro.
Nice Bramble connection.
Mickey isn't opting to join in on this fight.
Gotta be careful the Monkey King here.
You're gonna pick up the 2 supports. Ace still has his Primal Roar. but he has been left alone. He's going to roar and run. Can't really get far enough away against
no shot.
So he's just stalling for time here.
Spirit, they know the point of attack, and they are not afraid to bring numbers into this Beastmaster lane and continue to shut down the momentum there. That's a really dangerous fight for Liquid. If you overextend and you give Laurel free Jingu stacks on the backside, and then he's just going to start clearing through you, it gets real dangerous real fast. Then you're going to have to commit the Spectre in. And that might not be the fight that Mickey wants to join, as he is free farming bottom right now.
I really enjoy watching. It's kind of cathartic watching pros walk into cogs. Because then it's like, okay, it happens to everybody.
Oh, there's the isolated Desolate damage. Looking pretty good.
And it does mount up.
I think you just go with the Radiance Manta here. There's a possibility for like a faster Orchid in this game if you think you can connect it on some of these cores, but I don't think that window's going to be too big.
Spectre.
Oh, he bounced into it.
Completely isolated. The Witch Doctor was going to try and come in, bail him out with some extra heals. Again, Team Spirit bringing more numbers. Despite having, like, I would say, kind of equally mobile mids, it seems we're kind of one step ahead.
Their supports have been on point this series. They're just landing every spell. Like, these Brambles have landed every time. In the previous game, a lot of the Ringmaster spells were exactly on point. Not me. Beast in this series so far. And Naru right there with him. Look at this, holding the high ground. They're once more just reading the play.
Yep.
There's just no opportunity here for Liquid. Would love to kill this juicy Tidehunter again with some Maledict. We'll land a two-man Maledict.
And the Bushwhack, well, it's dodged. Now the Terrorize attempted, but they dodged the Terrorize. So Laurel's still going to hit a really good Boundless Strike, so they're committing so much to be able to get the start Willow kill that they're going to hit by the Ravage with the Clogs off the top.
God.
That was beautiful from Spirits.
That you can't ask for better execution there. And it's Liquid forcing the play. They know the strength of the Ember. He had a full wand and an extra bottle charge. He got nothing off due to an absolutely perfect chain stun. Root into Boundless Strike, into Hookshot, into Battery, into a cog hit, into Ravage, into another cog hit. Like, just nasty. Nasty stuff. Curse Crown procced as well.
Look at the chain stun. First crown. Wow, that was so good.
It's just so hard to attack Triangle if teams are ready for it.
Yeah.
You can feel that's a bit of a forced move. Yeah, maybe in a lot of situations you can get the Ember there, but what are you achieving? And they're going to try and send it straight back.
Well, they don't have Ravage this time, boy.
That's some serious hate. Will work out a little better, I guess.
Yeah, they want to make sure that Collapse doesn't get the opportunity to farm these Ancients for free.
The downside is you committing all the attention here means you're not kicking the Morphling out of top, which means Ace has to go back to the jungle. This tier 1 top is going to stand. Yatoro gets a lot of solo time up here. You have to question, is there a point where this isn't worth it anymore?
Break the Tidehunter, and he will die, but he'll die to the neutrals.
He didn't even get the kill.
And of course, Laurel is always here to get at least one of these supports.
The thing is, you can't do
trying
this.
to do the same. I mean, it's just mid laners hunting supports on both sides. Double chain, slight, and away. Wait, he went back in.
Did he want to do that?
I don't know. I mean, he does have the Spectre to back him up. If the Bushwhack had landed, maybe they could have killed Laurel, but instead, Laurel kills Nisha.
He's getting Deso charges.
Uh-oh, Mickey. He's going to be run down rather easily by Yatoro.
Oh, boy. These are some big missteps for Liquid.
Massive.
You can't be beat.
Oh, big Cask with the ultimate going off as well. That's going to get Laurel.
Look at it go.
And Ace, Yatoro's going to wave farm away, and there's the disengage through the cogs. It's got the Helmet Dom creep, and he's got the spooky one too, the Ancient Prowler Shaman. So you really can't afford to get isolated by this beast now.
He's very far, very high level. Same with the Morphling, but the beast is going to be able to exert the map pressure a little better here. You have to bring numbers to deal with him. Ravage is up in 3 seconds. Collapse signals that he wants to defend this tower. Does not want to give up map control. There's still that Ancient stack there. And all
but
in
the
on the
Ravage
Morphling.
immediately in response. Hits 3. Yatoro's still going to die. But the damage, well, Tofu's still alive, man. These heals are constant. They have to throw extra spells on him, which means they have less for Ace at this point. Hookshot grabs him. Nisha trying to play the edges here while Ace is in the middle of hell. and he's not getting out anytime soon. More cogs. Nisha, of course, is always going to look for that support, but not going to get it here. Boundless Strike actually still nabbed him, and he's stuck. He has to go for another Remnant in order to get out. The Curse Crown is going to land. Try and follow him. And they just take the kill on Boxy instead. That's good enough.
Got some of the beast creeps too. Decent amount of gold. Liquid do get the tower. And the Spectre gets in, gets out. This should push Mickey to a pretty okay Radiance timing here.
Not the fastest.
Stomp off for the urn, but yeah, ultimately this will win the stack for Spirit, which is what they were defending this entire time. Collapse will finally get to clear that objective. They got a decent amount of Deso charges on Laurel through all this skirmishing.
Yeah, he's very rapidly going to get to a point where he's just kind of like one-shotting supports. As seen here.
This is what you don't want happening. Oh, if you lose the Spectre here.
No, he can't afford to lose this, and it's going to be hard for him to get through everything. Nice bushwhack, though. It caught
Perfect
two,
timing.
and here comes the Ember Spirit. They immediately drop the wards just to try and play out this team fight with the slight chains. Yatoro, he comes in clutch here, morphs into the Ember Spirit to get the disables there. Laurel caught in the bushwhack, looks like he's going to take out, but Nisha caught on the other side, push back the cogs, and there goes all of his mana. Once again, Yatoro is here, and he's got a free fight to play.
He's so strong with the slight chains. That's up max level chains.
Here comes another round. Slow down on Boxy. Actually didn't get the chains.
Oh. Mercy shown.
Boxy's going to be running. He's going to be running for a while.
No mercy shown.
There we go.
Gets the pick-me-up level 13.5 for this Morphling now.
Once again, Laurel and Yatoro, their KDAs are out of control. 6-1 and 6 for Yatoro, 8-9, 3 and 8 for Laurel.
It's not that kind of runaway game for the Ember that you want to see for Liquid. Anisha, he has 8 kills himself, but he's still pretty poor in this game. You need to win some of these fights convincingly. Maximize the vessel value right now. They are running it down mid while this replay is playing, and
might get the pick out on not me, dude. This Rue is just killing Nisha's game, man. These cogs have been incredibly disruptive. Once again, enough that not be survives, and he's got Tranquil Boots, so it's not even like he's going to go anywhere. He could still play on the map.
They're going to try and push into this triangle once more.
Well, there's not much to claim here anymore. The ancient stacks are gone. Ravage going to use on the Ember Spirit. Getting up the stun. 3 stuns in a row. With Laurel pouncing on him. A Goomba stomp to the Ember Spirit.
Perfect timing again. The execution from Spirit. It is here today.
And Ace is going to get Wukong's command slowed down underneath it. More than enough damage. To try to hit him with the Bushwhack and the Maledict. Nice block there from Collapse. Stands in front of the Sharpshooter. With the Radiance burnout, that might end up being enough alongside the Maledict. No, we dodged the damage with that last Maledict.
Mickey does pick up a support, but can he get out of this? It's looking tough.
No. Well, the cask actually makes things a little bit more interesting, slows him down a bit, but of course the stuns don't last for long. The Witch Doctor heals are doing some serious work. The cogs, the double cogs, do it again, Rue. He is an absolute sharpshooter.
Way
Perfect
too good.
Game.
Nisha's like, there's no way I'm letting you get out of here.
Oh my god, he went the wrong direction. He went the wrong direction. He knows it too. He's going to go back, but he's already out.
Remnants wasted, ankles broken, and cogs landing. Spirit get the rundown. You know who gets the most damage out of the fight? It's the Morphling, who also gets the most gold, the most XP. That's the last hero you want cleaning up these engagements.
And the team is just setting the plate for him time and time again.
Beautiful changing of the guard here from Laurel. He dodged, I think, 2 of the Maledict ticks.
I think so, yeah.
And he dodged the last one, which is the most important. Keep himself alive. This is a little scary of a rundown. Like, you have to respect how tanky the Spectre is, especially if some evasion from the Radiance comes online into the Morphling hits, but you got the spells to do it, and man, that's a brutal way to die.
And Team Spirit. Oh, okay. The one time you're going to see Rue miss is with the hook shot on a stun target.
Yeah, the easiest one in the entire game. Yeah. Too easy for him.
Oh, maybe a little of the catch and release.
Still should be able to do Tormentor here, though, as Liquid going to force the Roshan. Trade these objectives out.
Do it fast enough. The Ember Spirit's not going to be a threat. We'll try and kill Collapse.
Do not want to let him steal your Aegis here.
Yeah, just push him away. make sure they can.
He dead off that? He might be dead off that.
He's going to blast life steal on the neutrals. Almost dies to him.
No, he's
Another
dead.
round. Now it's bushwhack control.
Okay. A little bit of a feed there. Not respecting the Witch Doctor.
Do you think that the Aegis changes much for Liquid? Like team fight wise.
A great Aegis carrier. You just haunt in the middle of the fight. You got to deal with the Spectre, with the Dispersion, with the Radiance Burn twice. It's really annoying. So I think it can be influential here, for sure. A lot of this game does revolve around the Morphling, though. I think if Liquid can manage to control the Morphling, they don't have to necessarily kill him at the start of the fight, but if they force the Morph out early and you lose a lot of that damage, then all you have to worry about is some control on the Monkey, and you can kind of push through with the Spectre. But if Yatoro has a free reign...
Oh, massive pickup, massive pickup.
Okay.
Boxy is the one to take the last hit for the 500 gold, but Mickey will still be content with the assist given how easy it was thanks to Boxy's setup there.
Great find.
And Liquid, despite the aggression not working for them from before, they're not slowing down. They make a play in both top and middle. They will trade out supports in the mid lane.
BKB is done for the Beastmaster.
So he can finally
can get in there.
Yeah, be a presence, which feels like he hasn't been able to accomplish too much here. Beautiful bushwhack off of that roar lead off. I asked you about the Spectre item build, and the reason was I was curious, how early do you get the Scotty in this matchup?
Potentially very early in this game.
Yeah.
Great item against the Morphling. Not bad against the other cores either.
Sure. Yeah, he's looking at Manta and then straight Scotty. He's going right away.
I don't mind that. The build-up's very slow.
Yep.
But again, the other item you're kind of looking at afterwards here is maybe Butterfly in a game where you're battling against a real true hyper agi carry. The Orchid into Bloodthorn can also be very strong on this hero, but I think there's going to be too many dispels here for you to go that route.
If you're like ahead a lot early, I feel like that's a build-up that could really, keep the Morphling down.
Yeah, Morphling's just a first item mana buyer. It's obnoxious. You still could end up with Bloodthorn in this game. I can
Like
see it being nice.
dodge and away. That is a close call. Any stun hits him, he's dead in the water, like figuratively and literally. So,
Shard is online for collapse. Feels like Liquid are stronger in the fight. They can find it in a nice way right now.
First down Tofu.
Damn, that did a lot of damage. What the hell? 440 adaptive strike after reduction. Pretty nasty.
As TPs to the other side. I think Spirit is one of the teams that plays the fastest off of these cross-map kills. Like, they get one kill here, and then they just, like, mass TPs to the other side.
You think faster than Liquid? They're also pretty fast in that category.
Cogs pushback on Ace. And Creep is gonna... Oh, we got him up to the high ground. That's gonna force a BKB use. Collapse apparently didn't know about the BKB use.
I guess they just didn't see it. Lost vision for seconds.
He blinks in and pops it, but he doesn't stop it fast enough.
That's fine. That's an opening for Liquid. They still have Aegis for a minute and a half. So you have Aegis, Spectre, you have Haunt available, no Ravage. Surely you can try and aggressively force some action here.
It's true. I thought they were going to wait for BKB on the Ember Spirit, but I totally forgot there was an Aegis on this Spectre, which,
This isn't the most important one to use, but I mean, you just lost a tier 1 to Morphling. This feels very defensive. Like, why would you want to be giving Yatoro space right now?
Nisha, Remnant's back. Yatoro is going to be the target here for the sharpshooter. Hook shot trying to run interference. A big burst of damage. Wait. I think he even might go to agility there.
I think he did Agi morph at the end.
Whoopsies. Well, rare time you're going to see a Yatoro misplay, I believe.
He might have been dead either way as the sharpshooter landed before the Maledict was going to kick in, but he definitely didn't help the issue.
No, not so much.
And just not
He had
respecting.
Vessel on him, so he morphs into strength. He's probably not going to regain that much HP.
No. He makes it a little easier for him at the end. Yeah, he went to Agi. Maybe he's like, you know what? I want to get out of here quickly. I'm not going to waste any time.
Doesn't want to have a lingering death. Well, Avery, you said, don't want to give Yatoro space.
No. Important kill in this game. He did have a streak too, right? Yeah, 5x streak going into the Ember of all heroes. Very juicy for Liquid.
And also off of that kill, they're going to get an objective. Mickey should get the last hit on this tower. Oops, didn't get the last hit on the tower. But that will progress the Scotty, which the Scotty is going to be a very big timing for Liquid. Maybe they still feel better in fights right now.
I think they do.
I think the Scotty is an even bigger game changer.
You just can't wait for it. Again, the build-up's super slow with double ultimate orb.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you get good fights with the Haunt off cooldown, you take it. And you have to respect the big cooldowns in this game. It's going to be a back and forth. Both teams trying to dodge like Ravage against Haunt. When the Morphling's able to fight. BKB done for Laurel means he's going to be able to look a little more aggressively here. Survive a bit longer.
Ace's Helmet Dom creep is almost taking a tier 2. That was a lot of damage because that was a full HP tower not so long ago.
It feels as if Spirit would want to just do a Roshan right now if it were available.
Yeah.
I think their lineup is not. It's a little clunky. Like they have some mobility with the monkey and Clockwork.
Ace is sitting on a lane ward right now. He's got Blink and BKB, so he's got 2 very fast reaction abilities that can get him out of this initiation. Collapse actually just goes for the supports, which there are 2 of them.
Liquid might just
the one
fail.
who might get out with a sharpshooter, pushing him away, but seems unlikely. Scurry's on cooldown for another second. They got the curse crowned on him. Hookshot actually nabs Ace there. He's going to be roared up, but what he really wants out of this is trying to force these BKBs on these cores as they clean up the supports. Nisha, he got hit by the stun. The Ravage to follow it up.
That's all it takes.
1 stun will lead to 2, will lead to 3, and that leads to death.
I can't believe Liquid lingered around there. The instant those supports got caught, I would have just instant bailed with everybody go push the lanes out.
Yeah, that feels like not respecting Spirit.
A little bit. Being a little too cheeky there. Yeah, you have BKB on Ember, but what are you really hoping to achieve here other than just mess with them a little bit? They really messed that creep up.
They sure did. They sure did.
Just get chains. Again, you don't want to use the BKB here, but you didn't have a remnant out early. Too big of a window against the champs here.
Yeah, just the way that starts, I'm surprised. Like, your 2 supports got jumped right away.
Exactly. Just leave them and bail, right? Like, it's a big committal of a move for Spirit. There's no Roshan to get. You're not going to lose an objective. Should be fine cutting your losses there. Surprised to see Liquid get dragged into that and then end up losing a big core on top. There's another creep death. And these are adding up a little bit. A little extra gold injection. It will be Butterfly for Yatoro versus the Scotty for Mickey. Very strong item times for both the carries in these games. And they should both line up with this next Roshan. So very pivotal objective on the trajectory for both 1 positions here.
If it's a fast enough Roshan, Mickey might not have his Scotty done fast enough. Should be kind of awkward. He's a little bit farther away than the butter on Yatoro off of that fight.
Kind of suspect Spirit will instantly try and go with this butterfly timing. Should be one of your stronger moments in this game. And you're not going to wait on the other 2 cores here. Like when Yatoro wants to send it, you send it with him.
Yeah.
So there's that butterfly. Instant smoke. They waste absolutely no time. Again, decisiveness from Team Spirit in this series. And they're going to try and find a pick off
on the Spectre.
Yes, this is Spectre farming territory. You're either thinking he's at this ancient camp or he's in the camps behind it. You can dive for him here. The turnaround's not insane from Liquid in this game.
Especially with the pattern that they set up, right? They ganked that bottom lane 3 different times off of a deep lane ward that they had. They finally, on Liquid, picked up a gem and found one of those wards.
They see him. They see him here.
He's going to be spotted. Lead off, found the strike, chain the stuns. They've got him.
What a find. What a smoke angle.
I like that they didn't give up on it, right? They go triangle. They don't find anything. They just kept thinking, okay, if he's not here, it's not on the left side of the map.
They had some really nice wards, too. Like this bottom obs on the bottom lane, it's scouting that farm pattern where the Spectre is like going through these camps into that bottom. They know he's not there. He can only be on this upper half. They basically eliminated every camp that Mickey's going to be on in sequence there.
And that guarantees that Scotty won't be up with Roche.
Yep. In fact, he's going to be dead for 30 seconds while it spawns. If Spirit have instant vision on it, there is a world you just force it. And you can bring it down before Mickey's ready to fight. They don't scout the pit, however.
Liquid is going to try take the trade off. I mean,
They see it now.
Spirit's doing Roshan right now, then they're doing it. We just got to try and get the most out of it, which is taking Tormentor.
And what a timing alignment here.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You get a Spectre kill, and Mickey doesn't even get to fight for this Aegis. A brutal trade for Liquid.
And high ground fights are I think it's way more simple for Spirit than in many of these matchups we've been watching, right? You've got a big AoE team fight to play off of with an Aegis hero that is very good at sieging down tier 3s.
I would agree. This does not look like the scariest high ground defense lineup of a lot of them we've seen.
No.
Yeah, your biggest worry is stacking for a cask. I mean, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
The one thing you're maybe concerned about in all the fights, not just a high ground, but it becomes a little easier on high
You really
ground.
want to go through this? They are. And it's Collapse who's going to be outnumbered. There's no way he expected this many heroes DP up here. It was just a squirrel.
That is haunt down. Every time this haunt's on cooldown, you have to think about, our Spirit going to try and make a move? You know, on the respawn, you have some time to farm here.
Right, which is where part of the reason Spectre, like, you get stronger and stronger as late game, because every single one of these ult pops, if you get a hero kill, well, that hero's gone for 60, 70 seconds, right? And that just leads into a very small window for the enemy team to play off of. They're still going to try and take the fight with the extra life that they have on the Morphling. Hookshot lands on Ace, pushing back with the cogs. Terrorize on top of that one. Man, they're so good at chaining these disables. Ace, he barely gets off the roar, and he's still going to die. Now, Laurel's going to die for this, because look at that positioning from Tofu. It's just beautiful. And Mickey, well, he ripped through one support. He's going to try and go for another one. Nice bushwhack. Pulls back Yatoro. Yatoro's now left alone against all these heroes. He's going to die the once.
He's in big trouble.
And he's going to be maledicted when he comes back up. If they can hit a stun, a chain, anything like that, it got the maledict on him. Wait for him away, trying to get some distance, but of course the chase is always going to be there. The boomerang's placed on, the damage over time, it'll finish him off. Spirit, they thought they had this. They said, surely we don't need the Tidehunter. We have 2 lives on Morphling.
Yeah, who's your damage dealer? It's the Witch Doctor for Liquid. Just a full channel Death Ward on a stunned Monkey King who could never stun him back. You're sitting there BKB'd as Laurel, and you're just dying to a support. Insane value out from Tofu there. You took a fight without your Tidehunter, and I think it showed. You just don't have that big presence on the front line. You don't have that AoE control off the Ravage. It takes a lot longer to bring these heroes down. A smart TP cancel from Tofu gets a really nice cask off. It bounces onto Yatoro multiple times there. Full channel Death Ward. Mickey, he's just sitting here waiting for his moment. Monkey King dead. I get to go in for free. No way this Morphling is going to fight all my HP with Scotty done. Very different situation.
Just like they forgot about Dre, they forgot about Tofu. And he punishes Spirit heavily. This is now a game that is in Liquid's favor, a game that they desperately need to win to stay alive in this series and stay alive in this survival stage, move on to playoffs. While Spirit, they want just the 2-0 so they can focus on the road ahead.
They're going to have to find a way to scale in this game. And it is never easy scaling against Ember Spectre. Like, that is... It just is not fun for your support duo. It's not fun for your front line trying to position in the fight and make sure the formation is set up correctly, because your formation just gets backstabbed so easily. The fight becomes chaotic very fast. This is not a pipe Tidehunter.
Yeah. Aghanim Scepter is going to be done at almost level 20, though, so these Gush talents make this this timing ridiculous.
And Satanic for Yatoro does help his sustainability a lot, which has been an issue here, particularly against the Maledict, kind of just wearing through him over the long run. Pretty unsuccessful Aegis usage, though. I thought Spirit were going to be able to get a lot better fight out of that Roshan advantage. Pretty much got completely nullified. Now this game has swung back Liquid's way. And the Butterfly for Mickey coming out soon. So Spectre continues to get scarier here.
Roar lands on Laurel, and he dies so fast to the Spectre.
That's a gem. Lost as
they
well.
They just bought that.
You just can't get the lanes out. The power of the Spectre Haunt. It creates a threat off of any single stun landing in this game.
You actually buy out the Butterfly? I thought he was going to break apart the Radiance. Use the Talisman for the Butterfly, build up a Nullifier.
Radiance is just so good on this hero.
Yeah.
I think is easily a fine item to keep in your 6 slots. If you want to go the nullifier out, then yes, you break it apart. If he feels that there's not a reason to have nullifier in this game, which I can kind of see, like this is one of those rare games where I don't know how much you need the nullifier here, particularly if Beast can buy one if you really need it.
Well, you got to nullify the Tidehunter because he's got a Krellis.
Does have a Krellis Crochet.
He didn't buy out the axe.
Interesting. He just needs to survive more. That's what it signifies here. Buy time.
But I feel like Tidehunter is only a hero that needs to survive in team fights when he's got axe, right? Like otherwise, you're just kind of like a Ravage, Anchor Smash, and like then if they go on you, all good. Nisha getting some information right now. Yatoro felt that burn.
Maybe Spirit feel they can only win a fight off of the Ravage pop and bringing someone down in that duration.
So then they have to make sure Collapse stays alive long enough to...
Yeah, I guess even in that scenario, the item is a little awkward.
Yeah.
MKB for Yatoro. Should complete his slots nicely here. It's just very hard to get a jump now. The initiation's a lot easier for Liquid when the Spectre can follow up anything instantaneously. Can guarantee you find Monkey too. Like you can't just hide in some tree line as Laurel this game.
And he's got 25. So those Spectre illusions are hitting very, very hard now.
It's a lot of damage coming out.
Next item, Refresher. I'm down with that. Double Haunt is going to make these supports' lives absolutely hell.
Becomes impossible.
And they didn't really itemize to deal with that in the first place.
Nope.
Like if they had, then maybe that's where the nullifier becomes more value. But you've got what? 1 Force Staff and 1
That's what I'm saying. I think he was watching this game. He's like, I don't need a nullifier here. I'm just going to kill him anyway.
And he's mostly been jumping on cores anyway. Laurel's going to stop the Doctor here. They do manage to get the break on Collapse, though. Collapse needs help. He's on a sliver of HP. Is it even worth the Ravage at this point? He's making a run for it. There's that Krellis. The Krellis keeps him alive.
Gets him out of danger for now.
It does. They survived through it. It was almost him just dying right outside their base.
That was a brutal amount of damage.
No buyback. That could have been a high ground push rather easily for Liquid. Instead, he stays alive, and they could go.
Got to look for something here.
Of their own. Yatoro with the Ember Spirit morph. The slight chains, long range against his boxy. Support in the end.
Something off of that haunt. Every time Haunt's down, you have to get aggressive as Spirit. You can lose the fight so badly. The Morphling will be strong when the Spectre is unable to join the exchange. And we'll see how fast this Roshan timer is. It's a long one.
Yeah, that'll benefit Liquid.
For sure. You're going to have your Haunt cooldown guaranteed here. Take another nice fight. Basher done for Mickey as well, so the control grows.
Trade up that urn. You don't need it anymore.
Look at this setup. Ooh, that was quick.
Isha breathing a sigh of relief there. Speaking of, we talked a lot about Nullifier. It is going to be an item in this game. Ace is going to be the one to grab it. So his Roar Initiation puts the Nullifier on him to make sure they can't, Wind Waker save or Force Staff.
He saw that Krellos for the Tide. He's like, someone's got to deal with this.
Seriously.
Will be a quick smoke from Spirit trying to abuse Haunt cooldown. Still there for 45 seconds, and they have Ravage available. The ultimates are favored for them right now. You're going to break on a Witch Doctor.
Smokes at a break, and Tofu gets the blink away.
Yeah, not what you wanted here if you were Spirit. Might still try and just force the fight straight up anyway.
Yeah, they're walking into potential high ground vision, though.
See Nisha. Gonna try and chain stun him.
You get him. Hook shot, terrorize. The Roar goes out trying to delay. Now the Ravage over the top. All for Nisha, and they got him. Once again, Liquid. So good at being able to chain those disables. Now they're in pretty deep here, and they've used a lot. Rue is almost dead. I was going to say, if Nisha chooses to buy back, he could really do some damage. He's already killed 2 supports. Almost self-fuels on Not Me will allow him to get 1 more round of spells before he eventually goes down. Yatoro almost killing Ace. Force that forward. He does manage to get it, but now he's been maledicted. And here comes the Spectre form. They got the Bushwhack and the Death Ward. They combo together to kill the carry. Yatoro's down. And now the chase They got Collapse as well. Mickey runs him down in the end. And these are heroes that do not have buyback. And surprisingly, though, now the later Roshan actually plays against Liquid. They would love for Roche to be up right this minute. Not going to be the case, though.
They will have 30 seconds while the Morphline's dead if they instantly scout it. Inspector does it super fast here, so... We'll see if they end up getting it here, regardless. One's costly on the Nisha buy, but he makes up for it. It'll push him to level 25. Kind of a necessary buyback to win that fight. You don't know when that Roche is spawning, so you can't afford to let Spirit get out of here. They chain stunned him again beautifully. Even with the stuns coming out on the Morphling, I thought maybe they're not going to have enough damage as Yatoro got Caskied there, but you have enough disable to power through it. The issue with these chain stuns for Spirit is a lot of them are the big AoE, the Terrorize, the Ravage. You're using your teamfight control to take one hero down, and that's why this buyback's so powerful. When you come back in here, there's nothing really to regroup around other than just the Morphling's raw strength. And eventually, Yatoro, he's just running out of mana. Yeah. He just doesn't have enough resources to live through all these stuns being thrown at him, all the multiple initiations. The Roche will spawn, and Liquid will scout it instantly, so...
Yeah, Liquid sat in the pit, made sure that if it spawned, they would be able to do it immediately, and it because they caught it so quickly, Yatoro isn't even up yet.
This is a big concern for Spirit in terms of how do you win this game? Because it basically means you have to take a fight in a way where you can win it 1.5 or 2x with those buyback coming out from Liquid. Be able to get a Roche and then push again.
And also, you're incentivized to like make this play again on the Ember Spirit. He's the one now with the Aegis. Because it's going to be the same problem, right? Like,
yeah,
you make that move on Ember Spirit or you make that move on Spectre. Both of them are heroes that can buy back and instantly punish you for it.
And that's the issue. The buybacks are so strong for Liquid between this Ember Spectre. That's why the late game's so scary here. You need refreshers if you're Spirit. You're going to need double Wukong. You're going to need double Ravage at some point in this game. That's what it feels like. Maybe even buybacks as well. Like, bait some fight onto an area where you have either high ground defense or outpost defense, something of this nature, and you can instantly get the Morphling in twice. It's real dangerous, though. And this is why Spectre late game is just always terrifying, no matter how much you want to argue the hero's stronger or weaker than she used to be. You have double Haunt with Refresher, and then you have the buyback Haunt as well if you need it.
Dude, Tofu, by the way, he still has his Gree. He's got 2,000 gold. He can pop. He's also getting no love on the Tormentor. Still does not have his shard, which, considering how impactful Tofu has been in these games, I would love a little bit of extra security for him.
He's rocking a strong triple-double right now. Man's doing work here.
Radiant are scattered.
He's got a cheese, though. That's pretty nice. He'll fly out the shard.
There's the Aghanim Scepter with the slight charges in Ballad Laurel. He was supposed to use the shard there to get down with the Boundless Strike, but he messed it up. And now he's just going to die there off of the high ground setup, Ace. He does get a hook shot. Ace making the run for it. Once again, Yatoro's left. Okay, do I wait for him in after him in order to get that kill? It didn't work out so well the last time. Meanwhile, his backline's being decimated with the double ultimate. Now he's going to be Abyssal Bladed up. Oh, they missed out on the Croaker stun to chain it all. Yatoro still has a chance to get out. The supports, they're looking a little worse for wear here. This last light, not going to finish off Root. So they go back for the Collapse Tidehunter. They do have the answer to the Corellas. It's not going to survive against the Nullifier.
A big mechanical mistake there from Laurel. We saw the idea, bait some sort of Haunt on the high ground, and then you just get out with that Boundless Strike shard. Didn't activate it.
Oh, look at Liquid. They say, well, we won back-to-back team fights. How many buybacks do you really have? We're going to hit the tier 4s. Now, this is them playing without some ultimates here, deep inside the enemy base. It's not guaranteed.
Yatoro's just control.
But they are super tanky. And yeah, Yatoro's not really getting them. They have to use Satanic on creeps just to stay alive against the Maledict Sharpshooter once again. And he gets roared through everything. They kill him. It's just too much for them to handle. They neither have the damage to get through these heals that are coming out from Liquid and these tanky heroes, nor do they have the defensive capabilities to keep Yatoro alive.
Is Witch Doctor just broken?
It might be. Is
that the story of this series?
Meta.
He is absolutely owning these games right now. This game is just over. GG.
GG with the security of a Spectre late game. You don't think they went for the triple core late game in game 1. And Spirit just hit a very good timing in the mid game, got enough of net worth lead, just kept pushing Liquid down, giving them no momentum whatsoever. But here, off of the back of a harder carry that could still play the map the way they want to, Liquid are both able to play the map like they were able to do in game one while still having this scaling carry and still playing a little bit more active, right?
It's a very good Spectre pick. It gives you the active capability. It gives you threat off your stuns wherever you go, and you have the carry-on-carry matchup hero-wise. Like, you're not afraid of scaling into Morphling with Spectre here. It's such a big difference compared to that spend to the Tiny game one. Liquid really addressed a lot of issues here. They got the Dota. The Dota has a 100% win rate right now. I don't know what that means. I don't know if I'm suddenly being converted into a believer of this hero, but that Voodoo Restoration talent and just sitting in the fights with so many defensive items plus Locket, Ghost Scepter, Shard, Aeon Disc, whatever it is, you become really annoying. Like, you can't focus this guy down, and if you don't, he does 5,000 healing in the fight. Okay, I mean, that's just basically you saved an entire hero right off the bat. It's a guaranteed spell. You can't stop the spell. Something about this hero is kind of cooking right now, and I'm liking it. So maybe that hero goes up in priority. It's also shutting down a lot of these frontliners in the offlane.
Yeah,
like, that's a
Collapse
big
had a
deal.
terrible laning phase because of Witch Doctor.
And not only the lane phase, the fights. Like, he can't go in the fight and exist as a frontline for Spirit because your frontline gets evaporated by Spectre plus Maledict in this game. I think the Morphling answer was cute. Like, it did do work in this game. He had 14 kills. He morphed into the Ember a couple times, had some sick chains. I think Yatoro did his job in some sense, but the Monkey King did not build enough early momentum. And then he's just getting hunted every team fight. I think that was the biggest component for me is, like, Laurel's impact. It's just not there in these later exchanges. And I think that's part of why we haven't seen the mid-Monkey. To gain the same momentum that you used to is way more difficult. And if you don't, you just don't farm the map as fast. You're not a pick-off presence. What are you really contributing to your team in terms of, like, either out farming them or I'm out killing them? And if you're doing neither, you're just kind of falling behind against this really scary late game. So very cool draft from Liquid, and a lot to think about going into this game 3 for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so much of it is we saw in game one, the stability of team spirit, right? Playing around each other and having a team fight formation that it was like running to a brick wall for Liquid. Whereas in this game 2, they have a draft that creates chaos, that is able to break down the front lines with the Witch Doctor while still hitting the back lines with these hypermobile cores on the side of Liquid. And that now brings us to a game 3. What is going to ensue in that draft?
We'll see how much priority the teams will place in that 100% win rate Witch Doctor. There's a lot else going on as well with that game, and I think a lot of Team Liquid fans are very familiar. You know, they knew the team would pull through because they normally lose game 1 and win game 2. We'll see what happens in game number 3, but I'm here with Lacoste and Seb, ready to break this one down, and it can't all be Witch Doctor, Seb.
It was not all Witch Doctor, but I have to say that I'm also becoming a big fan of this hero. It does so much. Like, the laning presence is there. Like, it kills the scaling of certain heroes like Tide, Morphling, especially when you have overwhelming amount of damage. Like Witch Doctor, Spectre, everything is just perfect about this combo. Like the lane, the mid game, the late game, and eventually like this level 20 talent and just sitting in the fight. And you pair him with like heroes that benefit a lot from the healing. Spectre is the perfect example because like every HP you take from Spectre, you work for it, right? And dispersion, and he's just healing back up. I don't know. I'm a big fan of this hero.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get pumped up in priority pretty heavily. Like this might become a first pick in the third game because it feels so good. Like it's shutting down the offlane we saw in the first game. They tried Necrophos, it didn't really work because they try to go for the range carry or offlane hero in that sense, but didn't really work out for them. And you are never tanky enough. A lot of the times in this meta, you see these unkillable, these centaurs, this Necrophos, tiny with the 5,000 HP. You're never gonna feel too comfortable when you have Maledict on you, and the heal is the present, like the presence of the heal in every single team fight is just too insane.
Yeah, it was super strong. But to go back to your first question, which was it can't all be Witch Doctor, it was also Ember. Like I think this hero, like, I don't know, we'll have to see, but this was 8-pick Ember. It got super shut down on the lane. Like, Lard did more than his job. I think he had, like, more denies than Ember had lasted. Like, he destroyed him in the mid lane. He went to fight for the Wisdom Rune. He defended safe lane. He turned the Morphling matchup against Beast, helped the Morph, slowed down. Like, he played an amazing monkey game. I think he was, like, 12-3 or something. But at some point, this Ember just comes online. Like, look at the numbers. Like, the damage numbers from Nisha. Like, he did twice the Monkey's damage, and obviously Monkey is not like the top mid hero right now, but still, like this Ember hero it doesn't matter like how bad his game is. Like at some point, it becomes a menace. And there's also this play that we've seen many times now, where they take fights in the late game and they buy back Remnant it again. It's just too much. Like honestly, I feel like December Hero maybe deserves like either more priority or a ban, but his like his rating by teams needs to change.
Yeah, you can tell that Spirit, they had an idea in this one. They brought back a little bit of a blast from the past, picking up this Monkey King as a counter to it. It looked okay-ish, but nothing too crazy. I feel like his presence in some of these earlier fights, it was great with the Wukongs and everything, but in the drawn-out fights, he didn't feel that comfortable. Like, he also got caught a couple of times because he had Spirit's Vessel on him. There was one fight near the tier 3 tower in the top lane where he got caught. Spectre jumps on top of him, kind of counters what he wants to do, because you see him immediately with the follow-up spell. Monkey's gonna die or forced to use a BKB, jump out. So not the pick that I think we're gonna be seeing as a counter. It was an idea. It didn't work out in this one, and I feel like it also, Shiver, could be potentially, you know, every single time that they were running different heroes, Spirit, they were doing well. Now they played Morphling 2 times in a row.
That's where I went wrong.
Could be it.
Solved.
It's going to be a tough tournament if he's never allowed to play another hero. Good luck for it. Good luck to him. But I was a little bit skeptical on the Witch Doctor Spectre, like as in the answer, Morphling as an answer to that, because it's. And then I'm like, it's Yatoro Morphling, you know, like he knows what he's doing. I don't know. Now that the game concluded, if it was like the best pick, because it felt like he was really big that game. He had every item he could ask for, right? He had the butterfly, the satanic. Like he got to where he wanted to be as Morphling, and it still felt like he could not stand his ground for more than like a second or something. Like if any stun he ate, he would just die 100-0.
We haven't seen the carry to carry matchup. These are not two traditional carries in a sense, because Morphling hasn't really been picked up. Nader was Spectre, you know, she gained slightly more popularity recently, but with the Desolate, with Radiance, it does feel very good. You're also building into Scotty, their Spirit Vessel from the mid lane. Even though he has Satanic, he has this Manta style to dispel things. It's also not very effective. Like eventually it's gonna kick in the healing reduction, and you're gonna die, because like we've seen how strong it is when once you isolate one of the heroes with the Desolate, the heroes just die.
I don't know. To me, my Dota sense is just telling me that the Spectre hero is not okay, but